Good morning. Good morning, Bex.
Hello.
What a wonderful morning it is. Sun shining.
Yeah.
Not too hot though.
The temperatures are normal.
Yeah, we've had a bit of rain where we are. And Bex and I, we have got a fantastic 2 hours of YouGarden TV ahead. I mean, all sorts of. We have got some drought-tolerant plants if you get sick of watering.
Absolutely. And do you know what? Today's range is really good, isn't it? We always say gardening for everyone, and that's what we try to fill the potting shed with. And I think we have got something for everyone today.
So if you've got gaps in your garden, if you want something just big and established, maybe having a barbecue next week, you're thinking, oh, I could just do with something really big and wonderful and colourful to fill those gaps. We've got things like the Pear Standard Roses, instant impact, instant colour. Lots of really well-established items actually here.
Yeah, we've got some awesome prices actually. We've got some really good deals on a few things.
We have. Like really good.
Like really
Yeah,
good.
some things, I said to Stu, who's in charge of all the technical side of things, I said, is it like a sale? He went, well, it sort of says yes and no, but some of the prices are the lowest we have ever seen. So do stay tuned. And we have got a few weird and wonderful things as well, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. And like in the favourites table today.
Yes.
I think you might like that favourites table today.
Well, we hope so. We're hoping it's going to be your favourite. And I tell you what, we have got a brand new Nandina, which I ordered yesterday, which is a lemons and limes.
I know.
It's really nice, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really golden, gorgeous colours you get on that.
It's like lime and green. So we will tell you about it. And I think, if I remember rightly, that one is under £12 as well. There it is.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really nice and really easy to grow as well. So yeah, something for absolutely everybody. Just if you are new to the live stream, there is a special offer code on the screen. That is YGTV 2725. Really important. You've always got to use that code because it unlocks all the promotions. And what does it give us, Bex?
Free postage.
Yes. That was very tuneful. Yes, it does give you free postage on all of the items on the show. So that, when you think about, when you look at the size of the standard roses, for example, the size of the bamboo, but everything that you order from the show will be delivered absolutely free of charge as long as you use that special code as well. And if you are not a club member, you need to join right now before you place your order.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, because the club membership will give you 15% off all of the plants and your compost. And we've got some great pots coming up as well. You can join when you place your first order today. We've got, I think it's about 45,000 club members. And we have got a special offer now. So the auto renewal is only £10, it's normally £20. That will automatically renew at the end of the 12 months. But you get a reminder, you could cancel, of course, as well. But that is the best option. Or you could go for the one-off membership. There's no point in doing that. Go for the auto renewal, save an extra tenner. And the benefits you would get today and for the next 12 months, 15% off all plants and accessories, 7.5% off outdoor living and machinery, that's garden equipment, things like that. You're going to get £20 worth in product vouchers. That's almost like getting £20 worth of cash back, and you can redeem those against plants and purchases throughout the year. 2 free P&P vouchers. Now, I know you get free P&P on the live stream, on the show, but not on the items that are on the website and not on our show, but you get some free P&P vouchers for those as well. So you get a little prompt as you place your order today, and you can save an extra 15% and get all of those benefits. Now, as ever, Bex is in charge of tech today.
Always.
Always. Unless you wait, apart from when you're not here. And then I'm kind of like, oh, how do you do this again?
Good morning.
Bex is slightly faster than me on that tech.
Good morning to Neil. Good morning to Marissa, who's home after her hospital stay. I hope you are recovering well, Marissa. It's nice to have you back. Anne is in the chat. Dingo is here as well. Joshua, good morning to you. Sharon says it's a beautiful day here in Cheshire. What a lovely part of the world, in Cheshire. Who else is in there? I think I've caught up with everybody. Everyone's feeling good. Neil says top shows on QVC and TikTok Live this week.
Oh, that's a compliment
so
to both of us.
To you.
Pat and you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you, Neil.
Neil, you are such a great guy. So we really appreciate your support as
ever. Come and join us on all the channels.
Yeah, and Neil, and everyone else, send some pictures in.
Yes.
Because we would love to see how
There's
your gardens are looking.
emails coming in already. So Neil, Ali G, Penny, Tony, Ian, Grimmy, We've got your pictures, we've
Great.
got your emails. I promise we will get to those throughout the show.
And if you've never emailed in any of your pics before, it's dead easy. You can just email us ygtv@yougarden.com. But yeah, we love to see your pictures. But any questions, then Bex and I are here to answer. But we're going to start with the most sensational pair of yellow standard roses. Look at these. When we said instant impact, my word. And look at what you're getting. Then look at the price on the screen. Club members, all you 45,000, you'll get these for £31.43. That works out less than £16 each with free delivery.
Look at that saving. £23 taken off there. And then look at the beauty of these. I mean, yellow roses are so pretty, aren't they? You know I'm a big fan. I love my Arthur Bell. I love those yellow roses. And you can have it as the standard version here. So I think standards add a touch of luxury, class and elegance into a garden. And we do standards very well here at YouGarden.
I agree. And they give you more space. If you've got a smaller garden, lots of modern gardens are smaller, if you use standards, you can actually underplant them. So, you think about your garden, if you've just got beds and borders and everything's just in the ground, you're only using a fraction of the space. But think about using the space vertically. That's why it's great to have things like trellises and climbers.
Well, specifically if you've got...
Yes.
That too. If you've got a smaller garden space, making the most of that space is really important, isn't it? And these can be container grown, which I absolutely adore. I've got a garden, I've got borders, but I do love my container garden.
Same here. And the great thing is, when you invest in a rose, you're investing in a plant that's going to flower every year for 5 or 6 months for many years, if not decades. And these are so super easy to look after. As Bex was saying, great in your beds and borders, great in pots and containers. Deadhead, in fact, we did a bit of deadheading, didn't we, just before we started?
Yes, we did indeed, yeah. Just trim them back. That's how you keep them blooming constantly throughout the summer. Feeding really does make a difference as well, honestly. If you haven't got your blooming fast or your bloom booster, do get some of that, because it does make such a big difference. And you see that difference quite quickly. They can grow in poor soils. They love a bit of sunshine. They're really easy, though.
They are. And if you've never bought a standard, you're thinking, well, what is a standard? If you notice, these have been specially grafted on this lovely tall stem. Now, that's a lot of work. That's real skill. I mean, I've never grafted roses, but it's a real art, real skill. And these will already be quite a few years old as well. But there's the grafting joint there. So that's what gives you this lovely lollipop shape. I always prune mine sort of February time, give them a good prune in February. But you can trim them and shape them throughout the year, really. Fully winter hardy, easy to grow, and £31.43 for club members. Amazing!
You can start saving today. If you're not a club member, do consider it, because you can save £23 off your first order just by going for this one. We do have a pink option for you as well, so you will get the pair of them, exactly the same as the yellow. 2 of them, making all of that impact. Same saving, same price.
They are amazing, aren't they?
Aren't they?
And we have got, just very quickly, I know I've got loads to show you, but we have got loads of pots. Just check out, say, the lineup today. But, one of those in a pot, absolutely stunning. I'd actually maybe go a bit bigger.
Yeah, I'd go for the 40 centimetre olive.
Yeah, or...
Oh, yeah, the olive.
the April.
April, that's the word. Yeah,
but
that would look really nice.
That would look lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah, my mum's got hers in those, actually.
Has
Yeah,
she?
yes.
It's £22 for a pair of those today, by the way. £22 and 8 pence for those. Remember, there's no postage to pay either, so you don't have to build your basket. You can come in and buy 1 item, 2 items, and it will get delivered free of charge. Or, I mean, if you're feeling flush and you want to order every single item on the show, all of it would be delivered free.
Sounds a good idea, Bex.
How cool would that be? Imagine all those boxes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, free as well.
Liking your style today, yeah. Right, I'm uber excited. Now, I only discovered this new Nandina literally a couple of days ago, but you saw it a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I've seen it a few weeks ago when we first brought it onto the nursery. You know that we're a big fan of Nandinas here at YouGarden. Obviously, it all started with Firepower, I think that was the first one, but we've got Obsessed, we've got the Gulfstream, we've got the Red Light, and now we've added into that collection this amazing lemon and lime.
Fab, isn't it?
You can see where it gets that name from as well, can't you? Now, those leaves are going to turn even more golden, beautiful colours colours as the season progresses. Stays relatively compact as well, so we're talking maybe 60, 70 centimetres height spread here, and evergreen colour, plus drought tolerant when it gets established, and if that's not enough, we are talking pretty much no maintenance.
Now I'm actually doing a garden makeover for a neighbour who sadly lost his wife last year, and she was a gardener.
Right.
And he's just said to me recently, "Look, can you make over my garden for me?" He's a good friend of mine. He wants it low maintenance. So you might be getting, maybe you're the same. You're thinking, well, I just need low maintenance items. Maybe. You get into an age like, my mum's 84, I'm 78 now myself.
It's tough, isn't it? Tough life.
No, but sometimes you get to an age and you just need to start making areas of the garden a little bit easier. Absolutely. So easy, as Beck said, virtually no maintenance, drought tolerant when established. All soil types like the Nandinas pretty much?
Yeah, they're not that fussy at all. I mean, I container grow mine just because I want to take them with me, but they can go in the ground, they can grow in containers, they're not too fussy on soil type at all. And it's all about that evergreen colour, isn't it? And
what I love with Nandinas, if you have got them in pots and containers, that's going to be your sort of like central focus.
Yes.
But then you can underplant them. So in the summer, you can plant them with summer bedding. In the winter, you can have your pansy cool waves and things like that. You can have spring bulbs around them. But you've always got that central focus in your pot and container. And as you say, it's not going to get too big.
No.
It's beautiful. It doesn't go red, this one, though, does it?
No.
Not like the others.
It's the golden tone. So you can see those golden tones, those sort of limey colours, and almost it's going to turn lemon colour, hence the name lemon and lime, and it's going to do that throughout the seasons. As it gets through the summertime, it starts to get those limey and lemon colours on there. Best colour you're going to get is when you plant it in a full sun position, but the great thing about Nandinas is they can cope in a part shade position as well, so for slightly more shady areas of your garden, you can plant these as well. I mean,
if you're quite new to gardening, or if maybe you've got children that are just getting into gardening, you cannot go wrong with a Nandina. But I love that lemon lime. What would you plant it with? What do you think would really highlight the colours?
Ooh, I'm going to go dark foliage.
Ooh,
yeah,
that
dark
could look
foliage.
nice.
I mean, we've got a cornice coming up next, which would be amazing near it. I think because it's such light colour that you've got there, planting it near some dark foliage colours would be really good.
Well, talking of which,
that's a good link for you.
By the way, the Nandina, if you are one of our, say, many tens of thousands club members, you're going to get that for £11.04. That's a delivered price as well. Use that offer code YGTV2725. And don't forget, you can place all your orders on our website, allthisreviews.yougarden.com. And I have to say, our delivery, if you've never ordered before, it's superb. Everything is so well packaged as well. All of our packaging is 100% recyclable. And if there ever is a problem with your order, which is very, very seldom, you will get great customer service. And one final thing, all of our fully winter hardy plants like this come with a lifetime guarantee. So if you managed to kill this one, and that is virtually impossible, but if you did, give us a call, we'd replace it for free. All you'd pay is the postage.
All you've got to look for, by the way, is that winter hardy symbol on the website. So if your plant has that when you're looking at it, that has the guarantee with it. Lifetime guarantee. I don't know anywhere else that offers that.
No.
I did look. I haven't found anywhere. There's some places that'll offer you, a year. I saw one place that offered a 6-year one. That was quite good. But not lifetime.
No. What if it dies in the 7th year?
Exactly. Which is always the way, isn't it?
Yes. So, look, grab that brand new Nandina. First time you've seen it on YGTV, and an amazing price today. And a plant that should be with you for many, many years. Right. I like your idea of planting some dark foliage next to it.
Yeah, I think it would really highlight both plants. And we've got the beautiful cornice Nightfall. Again, you can see where this name has come from because just look at that gorgeous foliage that you're going to be getting on here. Now, this definitely has year-round interest. It's a cornice, so a bit, like that dogwood that has those bright red stems, you're going to get that from this in winter time as well. So when it drops its leaves, you will have that statement throughout the winter.
I tell you, it's very unusual to get a cornice of that colour foliage, isn't it?
I know, right?
It's amazing.
And so you get this sort of, it's dark green spring foliage, and you can see that, and then it turns into these almost burgundy, purple, bordering on black colour to the foliage there, gives you a fiery display in autumn just before it drops its leaves, and then leaves you with those bright red stems in winter.
And I know when we work at the nursery in the winter and we have a little wander around, the cornice, that red wood, that bare red wood,
really stands out.
Yeah, even on a frosty morning, it is just beautiful. But But also, you know, at Christmas time and things, you could put some little white lights on it. Not that we're going to think about.
Oh my word! I mentioned Christmas the other day as well. I was like, oh, I can't do that.
No,
it's
but
too early.
I think all we wanted to point out is it does have all year round interest as well.
Well, there's flowers that form on here too. Once this gets established, you get little white flowers, clusters of them, and they actually get followed by berries as well. So once this establishes, a little bit older, you will start getting that during sort of about May and June time. Now these are going to grow to about 1.5 meters, so you know, sort of 5 feet height. And they could spread by that much as well. Obviously, it's going to take a few years, but if you want them to grow to that size, you absolutely can. I would recommend a bit hard pruning after a couple of years. Let them establish 2 to 3 years. Actually, hard pruning your cornice encourages brighter coloured stems. Now you can go quite hard, you can go almost to ground level, but if you want to maintain a bit of height, then you can go to the height that you want to, but it does actually encourage brighter coloured stems.
So that newer growth tends to look a lot better in the winter. The old growth can look a little bit dull, can't it? But yeah, if you want to go for those, amazing. And a lot of you will know, many garden designers plant in threes. It really works. Really does. So you get all 3 of those and just spread them across your beds and borders.
Oh, I didn't do a root check. Shall we have a look?
Yeah, go on. I've checked yours, Bex. Looking good.
Thanks.
Hey, Bex said my hair looked good this morning.
I did. Your hair does look good this morning. I don't know what you've done to it. It looks nice.
Had a few extra plugs put in.
Looks rubbish normally. New plugs. Shut up.
That was a joke, as in plug plans. No, I didn't cut yesterday. Yeah, but great roots as ever from YouGarden. So if you like the cornice alba Nightfall there, you get all 3 in the 9cm pots. Club price just $18.67. Now we've got some beautiful Hebes coming up next.
Oh,
aren't they stunning?
Right.
I love this selection here.
The selection on this table is amazing, and I have been really enjoying seeing the Hebes around at the moment. There's a few on the drive on my way to work, and they look amazing, don't they? They're just in bloom. They're looking so pretty. Luscious foliage on there. They're vibrant. They're evergreen. They're low maintenance, and you've got an awesome collection. There are actually 3 included in there, and you can see all of that foliage colour. This one, which I think is the one that is called Rainbow. I should have known that.
That would make sense, yeah.
I looked at the pot to just get, but yes, I should have absolutely known that was the rainbow one. I mean, that one with its variegated foliage is incredible, isn't it? Deep purple leaves, green and creamy white edges. You've got Celebration in there, which has that lovely, vibrant pink blooms on there. And we've also got one called Archie that has the slender, glossy leaves and those lovely lavender flower spikes on there.
I often think Hebes are sometimes overlooked because they actually do offer so much. As I say, beautiful all year round foliage, but then you've got those flowers as well, and very easy to grow.
God, that rooty, I can see that. Okay, it's coming out the bottom. I'm not going to try and get it out the pot, but you can see that those are gorgeous rooty plants. All 3 of those included in there as well. Hebes are fantastic.
They really are. Real hard workers in the garden. Right, we've got a brand new fig for you next.
Oh, we've got Little Miss Figgy.
Yes. That's so cute,
Miss Figgy.
Little Miss Figgy.
Great name.
Sounds like one of the Mr. and Mrs. men,
yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah. Do you remember those? Mr. Happy, Mr. Sad. But yes, Little Miss Figgy.
Yeah, so, I mean, Sean's got his big fig tree. I've got mine.
Yeah, you bought one, didn't you?
Yours made me jealous, so I got that one as well. But now, actually, we've got Little Miss Figgy, which I'm really enjoying because this is a slightly more compact variety. Still going to get all that gorgeous foliage on there. Still got the potential to grow those beautiful fig fruits, apologies, but it's going to stay a little bit more compact. I mean, it can get to about 5-6 feet, but it's a bit more compact than other varieties of fig.
And actually, the foliage is a bit more slender. Those lobed leaves are a little bit more narrow.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Hadn't noticed, but yes,
yeah,
you're
they are, aren't
right.
they? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I just thought the foliage was really interesting on this one.
It's another one that's drought tolerant when it gets established as well. So if you are thinking about how the weather is potentially changing, I mean, who knows? Last year was really wet. This year's really dry. We've got no idea what the future is going to hold. But if you are looking at drought tolerant plants, then figs actually can fall into that category. Once it gets established, don't plant it and, ignore it straight away. But once it gets established, that can cope with periods of drought.
Now, what comes after a really hot summer?
Loads of rain. Really rainy autumn.
I was going to say really cold winter sometimes.
Oh, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, who knows? But hardest about -10, so we would class it as fully winter hardy as well.
Yeah.
But I like it. I thought the foliage just a little bit more intricate, a little bit more delicate looking, but a very easy plant to grow in the UK. And say, not everyone, I've got the fig brown turkey, and mine is pretty huge. But this is a lot more compact as well, and great roots. But I just find figs fascinating.
I do. I think they're really beautiful. And, your video that you've got of your big fig that Stu did for you, it really did inspire me. I absolutely adored it. I thought it was so pretty, which is why I got my own fig now. So maybe in 10, 15 years, mine will look like yours. But even when it was filmed in March, bare of its leaves, I thought it was so interesting. The shape of it was amazing.
They are beautiful. Oh my word, sorry, I've just noticed the price.
Yes.
Serious size, I'd missed that. $9.34. Wow, with free shipping as well. So, yeah, honestly, if you've not got a fig tree, welcome to Little Miss Figgy. She's absolutely beautiful. And do you know, this weather that we're having right now in the UK, figs are loving it.
I looked at mine yesterday. I've got little figs growing.
Have you?
There's about 5 little, and they're small.
And you only bought yours about 2 months ago, didn't you?
I've got about 5 little figs growing on the one that I've got.
I always say as a gardener, you've got to work with the weather. You've got to work with the weather, and there's another heat wave on its way. If you buy this fig now, the chances are it's going to get really well established this summer. We're getting really high temperatures. This fig is going to love it, so make the most of it. Don't be buying your. Well, I'll just say it. So I've got the Mecanopsis, right, the Himalayan poppy. What does it hate?
Being dry.
It hates being dry and it hates heat.
Yeah.
So I'm having to really I'm shoving it in the shadiest, coolest corner.
Mine is as well,
Yeah.
in the full shade corner, making sure it's got water every day.
Yeah. So you've got to work with this current climate, and I'm going to say, something like a fig, if you buy it now while the summer is really, really hot and intense, it's going to settle in beautifully and get off to a really great start. Obviously, do keep it with water when it gets established, until it gets established. But I love that one. We like you, Little Miss Figgy.
We love you.
And we love your price of $9.34 per club members. Right, just give you a little example, because you might be new to the live stream. So, if you don't use the code, you will pay $14.99 for Little Miss Figgy. You will pay $14.99 for the Nandina Lemon and Lime. But if you put our code in, YGTV 2725, apply the code. And first of all, look at this. The postage is gone because you get free P&P on all your orders off the live show if you use that code. And suddenly, we've got reductions. So the Little Miss Figgy is down to $10.99 and the Nandina is down to $12.99. Now, what I'm going to say, join the club today. You get your money back within your first few orders. And all you need to do to join the club, there's a little prompt that will come up. You can add the club membership to your order right now, £10 a year on auto-renewal, and you'll save an additional £3.60 today. Bex and I love the club. We really do.
Love the club.
I placed an order yesterday, and when I put my club membership in, it made a huge difference.
Yeah.
On a big order, on any order, 15% is incredible. Right, Bex, the banana collection, have you got one or two of these?
Not yet.
Oh, I thought you had these.
No, not yet.
Got your eye on them?
I definitely want to grow a banana plant. I'm going to wait.
You're moving house,
I'm going to wait until we move house. I will do. I absolutely think banana plants are so stunning. When you get those to full size and you've got those massive, great big paddle-shaped leaves, I just feel like you're on holiday, but you're just walking out into your back garden.
Who's that handsome dude? Who's that handsome dude?
Stu went. This was your anniversary trip, wasn't it, with your lovely wife? He went to Sandringham and took a picture of it. I think that is the red Abyssinian as well, isn't it? It definitely is.
Where's a picture of Sam, your wife, the good-looking one?
Yeah. Oh, she'd be really mad
Would
if we
she?
showed a picture on here, apparently.
Oh,
there she is.
She's so
lovely
beautiful,
Sam.
isn't she?
I love Sam.
Yeah, she's
a sweetheart.
beautiful inside and out.
She is.
But true beauty as well in this banana plant collection. You get all three for $24.97. We were surprised how big these already are.
Yeah, once they get going, it's amazing how quick these grow. They take off. They are just going crazy in the nursery at the moment. Sorry, I'm just going to turn this around.
I know I had a banana plant in my last garden, and literally in the summer, and again, they love this heat right now, just keep them really well watered. But you sometimes get what seems to be, it's not a leaf every day, but every few days, when they get established, you can get brand new leaves. And the roots on these are incredible.
They're
aren't they?
so cool.
Yeah.
I just love them. And the fact that you're getting the 3 different varieties as well. So we've got the red Abyssinian, we've got the golden lotus, and the Musa Bijou. That was it, wasn't it? I think that's the
And it's the
3 in
golden
there.
lotus that produces the flowers, isn't it?
Yes. So if you look at those beautiful
one there.
flowers
There
there,
you go.
that one there, look at that. Once that gets established and you're producing that.
I mean, that's amazing, isn't it?
But it's a really carefully selected collection that you've got, because if you look at the 3 different things that you're getting, the beautiful sort of, red colour of the red Abyssinian, the bright green of the Musa Bijou, and then that beautiful yellow flower of the golden lotus, like that is just the best collection. Now these can get a few metres in height. Each of those leaves could be reaching a metre in length. And that in your summer tropical garden is going to be incredible. They need a little bit of protection, obviously in winter, you're going to have to wrap them in fleece, or you're going to have to move the pots. I would recommend growing them in large pots because it just makes life easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
You've got them, right?
No, in my last garden.
Oh, last garden, that was it.
But I should get some because I'm trying to create a tropical area. In fact, you know what? Yes.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. I've sold myself some. No, I was just thinking they go really well with my sort of like tropical garden that I'm trying to create. And I'm just really impressed with the size that you get in. Club members, $21.22 is all you pay with free delivery.
They're big. Look
They're
at
really
those.
big. And again, they do really well in a hot climate, so take advantage of the brilliant weather. You will need to really water those, probably on a pretty much a daily basis, but they will thrive in this climate.
Yeah, I mean, a normal UK summer, you can get really good results from them, but they love these hot ones as well.
Yeah, they do. Right.
Oh,
Emails.
right, we need to go into emails, sorry. So, hello to you all. Let's go straight to Neil. So, Neil E, this is, not Neil A. Hi, Bex and Sean. Just a few pics of the flowers looking great in the garden and pots, plus a question regarding the Echium Pride of Madeira. It is still in the pot from yourselves, but we are on clay, and all I have read says that it does like to be free draining. So would you recommend just putting it in a big pot of compost instead of the ground?
Yeah.
Yes, I think is our answer to
Yeah,
you
it
there.
is.
I mean, if you want to go in the ground, you'd have to seriously improve the quality of the compost you're planting it in. So a big pot would do the
because
job.
it would hate to be soggy and cold and waterlogged in the winter. Remember, it comes from Madeira, so although it gets quite a lot of rain in Madeira, it also has very free draining soil and it dries out a lot.
So just a few of the pictures
that's
that Neil
nice.
sent through.
The hardy, oh look.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I pressed the button. Sorry, Stu. Oh. So yeah, here we go. We've got the hardy gerberas.
Oh, they look amazing.
Look how good they look. I do love a gerbera. They are so pretty. Really bright, bold, beautiful flowers. And nice and easy.
Yeah,
as
but
well,
they're
aren't they?
really, I mean, they're not your bulk standard.
No, they're really interesting.
They
See,
are.
look at that pink one at the front.
Yeah. Well done, Neil.
Loads of interest
Yeah.
in there. Lovely. I'm just selecting a few because, Neil, you've sent a lot. Not that we mind at all. Oh, and there's your Echium. OK, so
Yeah, that.
go for a big pot. Give it a good drink. You can see there's a few crispy leaves around the edge, so give it a good drink. That might have just suffered a little bit in transit. You can dunk the pot into a bucket of water, and that will honestly just give it a new lease of life.
Yeah,
Nice
but
big pot.
I'd get it repotted as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then one more. This is the peach tree. Ah, I'm so excited. I planted this as well, and I have got fruits coming on mine too. You have got fruits coming on yours. My mum came to visit a couple of weekends ago. We had a barbecue, and she made a beeline for that plant. She was like, "Oh, I like that. What is it? I want it."
Do you know, and was yours bare root as well?
Yeah.
Honestly, again, because it's been so hot, all of our bare root fruit trees, particularly like the nectarines, the peaches, we always say we never guarantee fruit in the first year, but we've had so many of you saying, I'm getting fruit in the first year. That's on a lot of the bare roots that we sold back in, from February onwards. Amazing.
Ali G, a few photos of what's looking good in our garden. Photos taken yesterday. Let's have a little look what Ali G has to say. Oh, look at that pretty rose. Oh. The colours on there. That's pretty.
Again, it's been a really good year
I
for
don't know what
roses,
rose it is,
hasn't it?
but that is gorgeous. Really nice. Well done, Ali. Let's have a look. What else has she sent? Oh, another gorgeous rose. Really bright pink on that one as well. Yeah, roses are looking really good.
They are.
Year. And then final picture.
Just
from
a little
Ali
tip if
G.
you've got roses, by the way, I know they need a lot of water right now, but just don't water the leaves.
All about the roses in Ali G's garden this year.
It is.
All about the roses. Oh, we do have our Rose of the Week for you as well.
Oh, yes.
Coming up very soon. It's called True Love Waits. True Love Waits? Yes, True Love Waits.
Just
True
True
Love.
I was saying... I was like...
I think there's a song called True Love Waits.
You
which
confused
is
me, I'm thinking.
But I knew as soon as I said it that it was wrong.
I'm like...
Alistair, hello, he's doing the chat.
Thinking, I don't remember that word, wait. But True Love does wait sometimes.
It does.
But it is called True Love.
Hello, Alistair, who's just joined the chat
Hello,
on YouTube
Alistair.
as well. Nice to have your company. Thank you so much. That one's popular. Loving to hear that.
Come on.
Really loving to hear
The
that.
price on Little Miss Figgy is amazing. And as I say, it could not be a better week to buy that fig because it's going to love the sun. It's going to get really nicely established. Obviously, you just keep it well watered, but it is going to really get off to a cracking start right now. Right, what's still to come, Bex?
Lots. We've got the Rose of the Week coming.
Which is called?
True Love. We've got hibiscus, we've got tiny pamper, we've got salvia, we've got arigaron. That's just what's coming up on the next table, but we've got loads of other... We've got some big plants to show you as well.
So I do love the hibiscus that's coming up. Love it. Right, so I think this is one of the best deals right now on YGTV. If you want instant impact in your garden, if you want to buy a plant that looks great the moment you open up the box, then these are the standard roses. You get a pair of them. Discount club price is £31.43, working out less than £16 a rose, as long as you use that offer code YGTV2725. Right, love this. Bought mine yesterday, bought a pair of them actually. This is what they look like on the nursery today. It is the Nandina Lemon and Lime, £12.99. Absolutely stunning all year round foliage. You get the lime, you get the green, that you also get the flowers. This one doesn't tend to produce the berries, but you do get the little white flowers established, and it's so easy. All soil types, sun or shade, great for pots and containers, and will only grow to about 60 centimetres or so. Absolutely brilliant and a great all-rounder that looks good every single day of the year. 511269. Now, I love Bex's idea of planting the Cornus alba nightfall near the Nandina. The contrast would be incredible. And this one is all about the beautiful foliage, this stunning burgundy, almost like black actually, but it does flower. But also you get added interest in the winter because remember, as it loses its leaves and you get this blaze of colour in autumn, but then as it loses its leaves, it will expose these beautiful red stems that look absolutely stunning on a crisp winter's morning. You get all three of those. It goes about 1.5 metres, 511675. Then heebie-jeebies, oh yes, 3 stunning heebies. You get Celebration Rainbow and you get Archie as well. They're all quite different in terms of their foliage, but don't forget you get the beautiful flowers on these. There's kind of like mauvey purple flowers. They are evergreen. They are fairly compact and slow growing as well, and they are just £17.97 for all three, £15.27 for club members, 511752. And then, oh, I'm so pleased that you love her because she is rather gorgeous. The Little Miss Figgy, brand new variety of fig tree here on YouGarden. A bit more compact, so will grow to a maximum of 1.8 metres. Will produce figs as well, of course, but beautiful foliage and a beautiful structure to this plant. But they love that. I mean, they are winds hardy to -10, but they love the sun right now. So get it in a pot, in the garden, get it established while the weather is good. Just keep it well watered until it is a bit more mature. 340091. And don't forget that stunning architectural banana plant collection. That's a red Simeon that you're looking at right now, which is absolutely stunning. You also get the Musa Bijou, and you also get the Chinese Hardy as well, which is a lotus that has those amazing flowers. They are absolutely beautiful. They don't produce bananas, by the way, but they do produce amazing foliage, and the Chinese Hardy one that you're looking at right now does produce those incredible flowers when mature. And that's 680114. You get all three of those. But it is time, and I'm glad you've waited for this. It is our Rose of the Week, which has got a lovely name, which is True Love, which is what you found when you met Kev, of course.
Of course,
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And me and my Jay, of course.
20 years later.
And that true love still is true. And just like your true love, this rose is going to give you blooms and flowers for many years, if not decades. Now, we'll give you the details because we have reduced the price on this for just this week to $17.99. And it is a Harkness rose.
It is, of course, absolutely. Harkness, we know, we bring you all Harkness roses and they are phenomenal quality. They've been pesticide-free since the mid-90s. They've been a family-run business since 1879 and they are multi-award winning. And it's all because they produce, well, amazing disease-resistant roses.
Yeah. And that is so important. I know, look, we've both bought sometimes a cheap, I'm not even cheap, but a rose that, you say, oh, that's a deal, that's a bargain. But it hasn't been well bred, and then constantly fighting disease.
Yeah.
But the breeding program with Harkness, they've been bred to be disease resistant. You imagine years and years of not using those harmful chemicals.
Absolutely. And this one, True Love. What a gorgeous gift for somebody, actually. I mean, look, roses come to you with these amazing names, and I think that's really what helps them to be a good gift. But it doesn't have to be anything to do with the name at all. This could be more about just the beautiful rose itself. Now, True Love actually is going to turn into lovely white flowers. Now, these buds are looking a little pink on these ones, so I think they're going to open up and they're going to fade into that beautiful white colour with the creamy centre. It's a floribunda rose bush, so you are going to get clusters of roses on there, multiple flowers on the stem, repeat flowering, obviously, we talked about it earlier with the standards. They will flower for you right the way through summer, and it does have a beautiful fragrance to it as well.
Yeah, like a medium fragrance, so, so it's not going to be overpowering, but it is going to be really noticeable as well. And great for pots and containers as well, because it will only grow to about 1 metre or so.
Indeed,
yes,
yeah.
In terms of size. But I always think with roses, they do represent so much. I mean, roses do represent love, they do represent peace, and so many other things. But a rose is a great investment. When you think a lot of other plants are maybe short-lived, or you buy them just as an annual for the season, but a rose will flower every year for 5 to 6 months for decades.
Indeed, yeah, you can have those for a really long time in your garden. And of course, if you are planning on moving or, haven't found your forever home, grow it in that container, take it with you. But I can't dig up my Arthur Bell, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to plant a new one when I get to the new house.
Because it's too big?
Yeah, there's no way of me digging that up. I reckon it'd die. I'll leave it for the new people, I'll plant a new one, It's fine, they can have it.
I mean, I have moved roses before in the middle of winter. You might get away with it.
Yeah, it depends when I moved.
You know you have to sign a disclaimer when you move.
I know.
Yes. Basically, going to have to sign and say she's not going to take any of the plants out of the borders.
That's why I've been putting everything in pots already.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yes.
It's all been going in pots.
I hope your potential buyer's not watching now. But...
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So, True Love. Beautiful Harkness rose, disease-resistant, repeat flowering, medium fragrance, grows about 1 metre, absolutely stunning, and a great investment. I love roses, don't you?
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, fragrance, beauty, long-lasting.
And I know some people panic about pruning, but it's not difficult, is it?
No, it's so easy. When you're trimming back behind those faded flowers, don't go back to the first leaf stem that's only got the 3 leaves on it. Go back to the second leaf stem that's got the 5 leaves on it. You cut a bit further than you might originally think. That's how you get more vigour into your plant.
And that means you're going to get roses all summer long till sometimes October. I've even had them in November as well. Right, I love the next hibiscus that's coming up.
Your mum's got it.
She has, yes.
I remember. She's got this one in her garden, hasn't she?
And do you know what? It is just coming into flower right now.
Yeah, mine's about to open as well.
And they're just so beautiful. Look at that. I just think out of all the hibiscus we have on YouGarden, this is one of the most beautiful. I love the bicolours, don't you?
Yeah, they are stunning.
Ooh.
They look very tropical, and that's why I really like having hibiscus in the garden, because they do give tropical vibes, but actually without the tropical care that's needed. They're winter hardy, they're super easy, they just want a bright, sunny spot in the garden. Feeding definitely helps, doesn't it, to keep those flowers coming. Definitely feed. You get way more flowers if you do that. But yeah, totally hardy. And this can grow to, 6 feet quite happily, but it's going to take a few years, probably, 8-10 years to get to that sort of height. I'm currently growing it in a container. It's perfect on the patio, southwest facing, gorgeous sunshine, regular watering and regular feeding. And I cannot believe how many flowers I've got about to open up on that plant this year. So many more than last year. Last year it was the first year, and I had a few and it was lovely, but this year so many flowers.
And again, they are so easy to grow, as Bex was saying, fully winter hardy. They do love the sunshine. Again, they're really enjoying this fabulous summer that we're having. And normally they flower a little bit later, sort of like mid to late July, because it's been so hot. Many of the hibiscus, including the ones in the nursery, are in bud and flower right now. And they do sort of, so they flower sort of like mid to late summer, but often they do fill that gap when other things are dying down as well.
Yeah, they do.
They do, yes.
They do tend to flower quite late on.
Yeah, it's normally like the end of July.
But it's a good transitional one, isn't it? Because when a lot of things are fading in the garden after summer, this one still keeps going for you.
One of the things that, and I always say this, but it's true, they are one of the last plants to come back into leaf. So sometimes when everything else is greening up, they're still bare wood, but do not panic.
Go on, do your mum impression. I love it when you do your mum impression.
I'll do my mum impression then. But I think my hibiscus has died this winter. There's nothing on it. But Mum, it's fine. We say this every year. No, it's gone. And then about 3 weeks later, oh, it's in leaf. You were right. But that's
I love your mum impression.
That's an awful impression, isn't it? But mums are covered in buds as well, and they grow in a lovely natural kind of goblet shape.
Yeah, they do. They don't need much pruning or anything.
My mum's got a lavatiera right now. It looks beautiful, but it's all sort of like all over the place, but beautiful. But hibiscus are far more structured and goblet shaped. They're fabulous. And so don't confuse it with some of the varieties that you see on your Mediterranean holidays. This is a hardy variety. So it does come with a lifetime guarantee as well.
It does indeed. I'm not going to take it out there. There's a mulch on the top, but I can feel that is well in the pot. That is going to be a rooty beauty in there. Amazing deal for you. You've got £5 saving on that one. It's a big multi-branched plant. It is £16.99 if you are in the club. And these can be quite long-lived as well. So you will have these in your garden for so many years and with minimal maintenance, but absolute maximum beauty. Do remember that this one is an award winner as well with the RHS Award of Garden Merit. So absolute proven performer in your garden.
I think that is an amazing price, £16.99 delivered.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Beautiful.
Brilliant.
Everyone should, if you've got a sunny border, get yourself that hibiscus day. You will love it, and you're going to have it flying for many, many years to come. Right. So, as many of you know, I'm very lucky. I've got a big garden, although I don't feel lucky at the moment because of the hours of watering every night. But I've got space for the big pampas grass, and I've got a huge one. But I've also got the tiny pampa. And this, if you love pampas but you're a bit short on space, this is an absolute must-have.
Well, for container gardeners, absolutely brilliant, because you're getting the look and feel of the king of the grasses, the pampas grass, but you're getting it in that miniature scale.
And it is identical to small.
Absolutely
really
identical. I planted 2 of these earlier on this year. I planted them in containers. Sunny spot in the garden. I'm watering them well at the moment. I'm keeping them regularly watered, but actually once these gets established, you can pretty much ignore them. They are drought-tolerant plants. So another one that fits our theme today of, we're having a heat wave, maybe you want some more drought-tolerant plants in your garden. You're still going to get the feathery plumes coming on these. You can still use those if you want to. You can cut them, you can dry them, you can bring them indoors, you can have them for your interior decoration, or you can leave them on the plant where, when they're blowing in the breeze, they look really pretty.
They do. And the plant itself is evergreen as well. Don't forget, you've got a lovely foliage all year round. But you get the plumes the back end of summer. Quite often you're looking at September, October time. And I always think architecturally they are just absolutely beautiful. But this particular variety will not grow much bigger than about 60 by 60 centimetres.
That picture you just saw, by the way, that is our head gardener's garden. That was his dog in the background.
I should have realised,
He's actually got these planted as well. So I've got them, Sean's got them, head gardener's got them. I don't know if Adam's got them. But listen, the majority of us in here have got those in our gardens. And I'm not saying just because we've got it, you should have it. But I do think just bear in mind how much exposure we get to the amount of plants. And we can't have everything in our garden. So if we've chosen those, I think it's a good endorsement.
Yeah. And again, they are low maintenance. They really are. All I do is I tend to leave the plumes on over winter and then take them off in springtime. But you've got all of that great foliage. They love the sun, so nice sunny position, and they do like well-drained soil, we should say. So if you've got them in pots and containers, just make sure you've got good drainage. But they are honestly identical to the big king of grasses, the pampas, but they're not invasive, they don't take up lots of room, but they are equally as attractive. Right, what else we got?
A couple of amazing priced items for you here. So this is about price. I mean, beautiful plants, don't get me wrong, we know you love them, but it is definitely about the price here. You're going to get the Salvia lips collection, the amethyst lips, the hot lips, and the cherry lips, thank you, for £12.72. All 4 of those. I will point out yours may have been chopped. We've had these out here in the greenhouse for a little while. We do have to chop our plants regularly, and actually it's a really good thing to do. We all know about Chelsea chop time, don't we, and how it bushes them out. But this is going to show you what they will look like in no time at all.
Yeah, do you know, I never used to be a massive fan of salvias. But there's one in my garden, and let me finish the story. Stu's going, well, why you got it in your garden then? So I just planted it there, neglected it totally. You can see there's nettles behind it, there's some weeds around it. But do you know what? I've just realised that salvia is such a hard worker. And it really flowers all summer long. I don't deadhead it, you don't need to. I barely feed it. I let the weeds grow around it, and yet it still looks absolutely fabulous and drought tolerant when established as well. So no, I love salvias now, and I've actually, since we filmed that, I've actually planted a couple more, the cherry and the amethyst, by the side of it. But
I love the scent.
Yeah, I do.
I just stuck my nose in it. It went right up my nose. No, the smell you get from the foliage.
I agree.
That is an absolutely beautiful scent you get from it. Loads and loads of flowers, long flowering season. Again, one that's flowering quite late in the season as well.
And great for the pollinators, the bees love them. But it's just an easy plant. And this year, my peonies lasted about 2 weeks. Then there was a storm.
Yeah.
And I love peonies, and I'm always going to grow peonies. But their beauty, very, very short-lived. Like me, I mean, I looked good. I had about a couple of weeks in my mid-20s where I looked really good, but it's like 2 weeks. But salvias, they look great for months of the year. They really do. You know, they start flying sort of like end of May time, right the way through to. I've even had mine flying in November before the first frost. So a great investment, and just £12.72 for club members. Right.
First thing I'm going to do, I'm just showing you the roots on those, because Erigeron are just rooty beauties. They are so tough, so hardy, so easy, and one of the longest flowering plants that you will have in your garden. I adore these. I will be getting myself the Callista. Are they Callista? The urns. Yeah, I'm going to be getting myself the Callista urns, the pair of them, and I'm going to be planting Erigeron, just Erigeron, into the top of those. When I get to the new house, honestly, I'm going to do this. I've been recommending it on TikTok, and I'm doing it for you now as well. Just Erigeron, top of a Callista, one of those plants, and it will look so amazing. I like that idea. Beautiful trailing flowers over the edges. Gorgeous daisy flowers you get on here that start that white colour and transition through to the darker pink, plus you get the shades of the pink in there as well. So the constant interest you get from Erigeron is one of the most amazing things, and it starts in about April. Mine came into bloom this year, and they're still looking fantastic, and they will right the way through till about October. And
can I just say, they are one of the most drought-tolerant plants I know. I mean, it's known as the Mexican fleabane. It tolerates the poorest of soils. Like, really, I've seen these grown out of walls and cracks in pavements and things. So they are incredibly drought-tolerant, really resistant. I've got a whole patch of this in like a... Well, it was an area that was just rubble.
Yeah.
It was like the builders had left this bit that just full of, like, you know, there's a few bricks poking out, there's like stones, there's gravel, and I've just covered it in that.
Yep.
I mean, I'll be honest.
Really pretty.
And what's really good, because there's quite a lot of weeds there, the Erigeron has really suppressed the weeds as well.
Well, it's great ground cover. This is the beautiful thing. So if you've got gaps in your borders, put a plant in, a plant that's going to flower for ages, because that will stop those weeds coming through.
Oh, apparently we've got some footage.
Let's go to your garden.
I forgot we'd done this. Right, yes. So you're thinking, has Sean really got that in his garden?
Yes, he has.
Well, this is where I've put Erigeron in my garden, because this whole board, I'll be honest, it's very rubbly. Haven't really worked out quite what to do with it, but I wanted ground cover. And there's only about 3 plants here. They've been here a couple of years, and they just flower all summer long for 6-7 months of the year. And what I've done, I've actually extended. So now, because they did so well there, and this is often a tip, if you see a plant doing well, then you might want to repeat it somewhere nearby or get a similar variety. So I've actually just planted a few more plants along here. And the great thing is they will just flower and flower all summer long. Each plant can get up to about 1 metre by metre. The flowers change colour, so sometimes they're white, sometimes they're dark pink, light pink. And at the end of the year, all I'll do is literally trim them back, and we'll do it all again next year and the year after and the year after. It's known as Mexican fleabane. That's the popular name for it. And it's one of those plants that will tolerate a very poor soil, likes lots of sun, and needs very little love and attention. It's just a brilliant ground cover plant that will flower all summer long and produce thousands of flowers. And they're like little daisies, which I love. I mean, and they look just as good this year. Now, the observant ones amongst you may have noticed I've put on a bit of weight in that clip of film. On that Bex.
Lost it, haven't you, mate? Been working hard. Every time we show one of those clips of him in that T-shirt, he's like, oof. Oof.
It was a tad tight in the
It's
wrong
a good
areas.
reminder, though, isn't it?
It was, yes. Yes.
It's like when they say stick a picture of yourself on the fridge door, so that you don't keep opening the door.
I think it was just
That's what that VT does for you.
It was a badly fitting T-shirt as well.
You know, you stick a picture of you looking overweight, and then every time you go to the fridge, you go, "Oh no, I'm not gonna do that."
But the original looked great, didn't it? And it still does today.
It does indeed.
So yeah, it's a brilliant plant, that one. You get all three for $14.97, $12.72. But say, if you're struggling with certain plants in your garden, with watering and things, that is so drought tolerant when established. It's pretty indestructible, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, what we're going to expect?
Well, two very sort of tropical themed plants for your garden, but ones that can cope very well. These are both half-hardy plants, can cope with minus frosts down to about -5. And they are drought-tolerant beasts, is what Stu's just said in my ear. I like it, absolutely. Let's go with a drought-tolerant beast. Where do you want to start, Stu? Palm, yeah, let's go Chamaerops. I've added a couple of palms into pots, actually, because, again, I want to do that. I love a tropical area, and the Chamaerops is definitely going to give you that tropical feel here. Now, it is hardy. It can cope with frosts. It can go down to -5. My friends have got one of these in their garden, and they live in Grimsby, northeast Lincolnshire. Grimsby, northeast Lincolnshire. And I tell you what, it is beautiful. Yeah. It's nice and tall, several metres high. It looks amazing.
-5, but I think when they get established, it can be a bit lower than that.
Yeah.
Slow growing though, so you've got to be patient.
Slow growing. I mean, they've had theirs in their garden 20-something years, and you know, it's several metres in height now, but it has grown beautifully. You get these amazing, lovely fan-shaped palm leaves on here. Now, it is spiky down at the base here. You can see those spikes at the bottom. So just be careful. Nice and easy though. As the leaves fade, they sort of start to go over like this. And once it gets past the sort of 90-degree bit, I think that's when you trim it off. Take your secateurs, get a pair of gloves on because it's spiky at the base there, and trim that off. Then you get this base forming and that new growth coming all from the crown, from the centre. Evergreen. Looking good in your garden year round. And again, you know, we're having a brilliant hot summer, so get this now. It's going to love this summer. It's going to get really well established. But I'd say you've got to be a bit patient. I mean, I say be patient. You know, not everyone wants to buy a plant that's going to suddenly double in size overnight. So this one here, fairly slow growing, but a beautiful palm that goes really well in the UK, even in Grimsby. Even in Grimsby. I mean, look, $25.49. That's amazing. Check out the size of that plant. How many stems are coming off there? There's new growth, in fact. If I open this up a little bit, that one there, look, can you see that is a new one coming in? It hasn't even started to open up yet, and this is what they are looking like. I actually went and picked this one from the med house where we keep these, and they are all looking amazing.
And I'm just thinking, that just looks great by itself, doesn't it? Yeah,
it's a feature plant, for sure.
That in a pot. You imagine sitting outside on an evening, watching the sunset, nice cool drink in your hand, just sat by that, and you're going to feel like you're somewhere really, really exotic. You may be in Grimsby, but you may feel that you're in Gran Canaria.
Absolutely.
And then we've also got the Callistemon, which I know is a bottle brush plant.
I love the feel of this.
Now, I think these have been recently trimmed because there's loads of new growths on them, isn't there?
Okay, so they were. They did get a little bit, I'm not going to lie, they got a bit scorched earlier on in the year. They got massively scorched earlier on in the year. I think it's because of all the high UV rays that we had. I mean, they are a sun-loving plant, but obviously, even with the new growth, you have to just be a little bit careful. So we had that massive UV spike earlier on in the year, and these got a bit scorched. So, do you know what? This is the difference with shopping with us rather than other places. I won't name any names because we have expert growers here that know what they're doing and knew what they needed to do. We had hundreds of these. We were like, okay, they're not looking great. What do we need to do? So they got the expert growers in. They really hard pruned these back. They looked shocking for a little while, but look at what's happened to them now. A little bit of care, love and attention. And now they are in a beautiful condition, ready to be dispatched. We took them off sale for a little while because they just were not the quality that we would expect to get.
And you've got so much healthy new growth there. Look incredible.
I love the new growth that comes through because it's so soft. Honestly, there is like, it's coated in like fine fur, the scilla, the lovely fine fur that goes on there. And then obviously it hardens off and you get the darker, harder foliage, which, by the way, when you break it, when you're pruning and trimming and stuff, it has a lovely scent. It's supposed to be citrusy, but I think it's a bit eucalyptusy. Yeah, smell that.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both.
It's a bit of both, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Now, they will flower for you as well, normally in the height of summer, you know, actually throughout summer, starting quite early on, and you can get repeat flowering from these, known as the bottle brush plant.
And they are very drought tolerant when established. They do originate from Australia, so you can imagine they do tolerate really dry periods. We say hard, it's about -4 in the UK, -5 maybe.
5.
So just put it in the winter time, just make sure it's in a nice sort of like sheltered position. One thing I learned, and we do learn by mistakes, and we all make mistakes in gardening, it's part of the journey. So I once really hard pruned mine back in autumn and I lost it. That is the worst thing to do because, you know, do not hard wait. Oh, it was late autumn, so literally I really gave it a big hard prune, and then it was really cold.
Yeah, the cuts couldn't heal. The frost gets in.
So I learned the hard way. So yes, and generally speaking, I don't think callistemon like to be hard pruned. I think
they can be, like we showed earlier on in the year. Of course,
but we did it in late spring, didn't we?
But we did it at the right time. Generally, you're just going to leave your callistemon alone. Once it flowers, the new growth comes through and then it will flower on the new growth, and then it's just mild pruning to shape it as you need it.
But just don't hard prune in winter.
In autumn.
Late autumn, winter, that is the worst thing to do. So when we did ours, it was nice and hot, and they've just loved it. I mean, I think that really shows what you can do if you deal with the situation correctly. And they'd be so all of that new growth. I can imagine that going to be flowering in the next several weeks.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was flowers coming on that, soon.
And when they flower, they are rather special, aren't they? I mean, you just get thousands of those stamens.
Spectacular.
Aren't they?
Pollinators love them. And so you can't help but touch it. Yeah, You've got to stroke the flowers.
So right. I was just thinking, I was looking at that imagery, I was thinking, I'd love to get my hands in there.
Get in there and have a
because they look like they'd be spiky, but they're incredibly soft.
So soft,
yeah. So that's what it will look like when it's in flower. It has been grown as a standard as well. So you've got a lovely tall stem and that gorgeous, gorgeous head that will be covered in those flowers. Now, we're going to move on to our compost. And I am so relieved that I planted all my pots and containers in this compost because it has got what we call a wetting agent built into it. Now, if you didn't use our compost this summer and maybe use some coir-based compost, I reckon so many of you...
Oh, you'll be watering so much.
And I reckon so many of you, when if you did... I mean, I know most of you do use our compost, but if you have got some pots and containers with other compost, I reckon there's a really good chance that other compost is going to be constantly drying out. But also, when you water, is your water going all over the side of your hanging baskets and pots? It doesn't happen with our compost because there's a wetting agent. And that makes sure that the water sticks straight to the compost, doesn't it?
Yeah, that combined with the composted wood fibre that we've got in here, up to about 50% composted wood fibre, that really holds on to the moisture as well, allows for even water distribution, which is really important when you're trying to get, seeds started or tiny baby plants in there. But all of, those two things combined is what's going to help you when it comes to the watering in these hot days.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there are many other reasons to buy a compost, but say this hot summer, I think it's really, really proven that our compost is brilliant. And so I'm so relieved because I've got hundreds of pots that I have to water, and they're doing really well, and they're not drying out and staying dried out.
No, absolutely. My hanging baskets are looking amazing, and obviously you've got to bear in mind those are up high. It's been quite windy as well, hasn't it? So the wind is drying things out. We've had all that, it's come from Africa apparently, all that lovely warm.
Well, it's like a hairdryer in your garden.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
Like
so it's been drying everything out.
Now, also, you should feed your plants, but we also know that you forget, and we sometimes don't have time. There's a slow release fertiliser in here.
All the time.
We'll feed your plants for up to 5 to 6 months. That's the little green balls. There is an element of peat in here, but it is a reduced peat content, but we put in the minimum amount to give the maximum results.
And it's going to work for the majority of things in your garden as well, because this is pH balance, so it's just slightly left of neutral, which is the sweet spot. That's where the majority of your plants are going to absolutely love living. Obviously, we've got ericaceous compost available if it's the acid-loving plants that you've got in your garden. It's available for you, but I would say about 98% of everything you plant in your garden is going to absolutely love it. Plus, it's really free draining. Most plants love a free draining soil.
And that's just me. I mean, this is the pub garden that I look after in our village, every single plant right now is in our compost, and it's all pots and containers in the pub garden because it's a patio area, but having our prima-facie compost, the flowers, the plants are looking amazing. So they are not drying out like they would be in other composts, and everything is absolutely thriving. So if you are buying any plants from us today and you're going to be putting them in pots, containers or in the ground, just make sure you get your compost at the same time, and it will make the world of difference. I mean, I have to say, and I do find coir-based compost do dry out.
They do.
They do.
I tried it. I'm not a fan.
No, I tried it last year with my tomatoes, some of those, and it was a nightmare.
Not
it really was. And we have got that for just $21.23 if you are a club member as well. Right, what's coming next, Bex?
You're doing a little review, and then we're going to look into the chat. Alistair, I didn't know you were in Grimsby. How cool. You said you'd be surprised what you can grow in Grimsby.
Alistair.
I live there.
I'm only joking.
Everyone jokes about Grimsby. It's fine. I think Grimsbarians understand.
Yeah. And there's a gardener that I've followed from time to time who's he's known as the Yorkshire gardener, but it's amazing what you can grow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course you can. When you're as good a gardener as you are, Alistair, of course you can. Right, this is our rose of the week, and it's known as True Love. Now, it's a heartless rose. They've been breeding roses, as we said, for 145 years or so. All their roses are disease resistant. They are repeat flying, stunning fragrances. This is a floribunda rose. That means you're going to get lots of roses clustered together, and it is a stunning, stunning kind of creamy white. And what I love about roses, I love the way that they change as they age. So when the flowers first open, you've got that lovely kind of pointed centre. And then as that rose ages, it tends to be a little bit more looser, so it looks a bit more like a wild, sort of natural rose. So you always have that journey. And bear in mind, this one, there it is, it's a little bit more aged, so it gets a little bit more loose. It's stunning. And this is a rose that with the right conditions could be in your garden for years, if not decades. Medium fragrance, it's a lovely kind of sweet medium fragrance, and that is highlighted against that lovely, rich, dark green foliage as well. So it's called True Love. Great gift as well. Maybe that is going to be for a loved one in your family. 531086. And if you are a club member, bearing in mind this is a Harkness rose, multi-award winning, $15.29. Then one of my other favourites on today's lineup is this hibiscus, the hammerbow. I just love the bicolour. I love that really kind of rich, almost looks like the centre's just been sprayed in a lovely kind of burgundy ink, and then that just fades into this delicate pink. Big flowers on this one as well. It is winter hardy. I know some hibiscus varieties are not winter hardy. This one is fully winter hardy. It's about -10. Flowers normally late July, but I was a bit early this year. Quite compact, grows into a lovely goblet shape. Eventually it could grow to a couple of metres, but they are beautiful. They just love a sunny spot. got well-drained soil. They'll actually tolerate fairly poor soils as well. 500 077, and that for club members is under £17. That is amazing value. Delivered free when you use the code YGTV2725. Then, oh, these are cute. These are our pair of Cortaderia tiny Pampers. So yes, they are a Pampas grass, but these have been meticulously bred to be miniature. So they'll only grow to about 60 by 60 centimetres. And you get the plumes normally the back end of summer, so September, October time. You can cut them off and dry them, or you can leave them on all over winter as fantastic winter foliage. But they're beautiful. We've all got those, and I can promise you they are rather splendid. So the tiny Pamper is 560991. Right, this is my salvia. So I've got the hot lips one, but I've also now got the amethyst and the cherry lips. You get all three. So you get the pink, the red, and the purple. These are bicoloured. They flower for about 6 months of the year. They're so easy. I mean, God. I mean, mine one there, let's be honest, it had weeds, it had grasses growing in it, it had nettles behind it. I didn't feed it. I did virtually nothing to it, and it still performed brilliantly. 560668, you get all three there. The cherry, the amethyst are included, and the hot lips as well. And then this has been really busy. It's the best price this year for the Irrigaran. A lot of people know this as Sea of Blossom, or Mexican Fleabane is another name for it. It is brilliant in the heat. So if you want a true drought-tolerant plant, doesn't get better than this. It will grow honestly, in like rocks. It will grow in stone steps. It will grow in cracks in pavements. All it needs is full sun, as much sun as possible. And what is interesting, the little daisy flowers start off white, and then as they age, they go through various shades of pink. It's great for ground cover, so rockeries and things like that, gravelled areas. If you want a low maintenance garden, just put this in a pot with some gravel, and that is literally all you need to do. Will die back in winter, sometimes dies right back, but it becomes bigger and stronger every single year. Very busy for that one, 560640. And you are absolutely loving our little Miss Figgy. She is gorgeous. She's a brand new fig that we have got on the show. Now, she's a lot more compact. We'll only go to about 1.8 metres. She's got lovely foliage it's a little bit more delicate, so the lobed leaves are a little bit finer, a little bit narrower. Yes, you can get figs, and just a very easy one to grow. -10 is what it will tolerate, and I keep saying it, buy it now. It's sunny, it's hot, it's going to get really well established in the first year. You know, if it was a cold, wet summer, then it would survive, but it would be slow to take off. But if you buy it now, you're going to get it going, getting off to a cracking start. Great in pots and containers, with it being a lot more compact, but absolutely beautiful. Love that one. Might even buy one of those myself. 340091. Then we have got brand new Nandina. It's called Lemon and Lime. This is evergreen. It colour changes, so you get green foliage, but then you get this really intense kind of lemon and lime. Will flower as well, and quite compact, grows to about 60, 70 centimetres or so, but just looks great all year round and very easy to grow. Drought tolerant, well established, and a plant that Bex and I would highly recommend. There's a lot, if you've already got lots of the other Nandinas that we've had, we're talking about Firepower on Obsessed, we've got so many different types, but that is a brand new one to add to your collection as well. By the way, good morning, welcome to YouGarden TV. So just sorting out my little wires there. It's lovely to have your company with myself, Sean Ryan, Bex Edwards, Stewie's doing all the technical things. And what we will say is, you save a fortune from shopping with us here. You know, please tell your friends and family, you know, spread the word, because you're buying from us directly, you can save so much money. But the way to save the maximum amount of money, two things. Always use the offer code, YGTV2725. That changes every week, and that will give you free postage. It will unlock lots of different promotions. But also, would you like to save 15% on every order with us? 15%. Well, if you join the club, you'll not only save 15%, but you'll get many, many more benefits. And here is a little clip of myself and Bex to tell you more about our incredible club. If you love your garden as much as we love ours, then why not join the YouGarden Discount Club?
The club has been running for many years, and it's where thousands of our customers enjoy a whole host of benefits to ensure that they get the most out of their gardens for less.
Now is a great time to join the YouGarden Discount Club, as the benefits have just got even better. So what do you get when you join the club?
Firstly, our members will get bigger discount rates all year round. So you'll now receive 15% off our range of plants and accessories, and that's on top of any other discounts you might have.
For those bigger investments such as garden furniture or lawnmowers, for example, you now get 7.5% discount on all of our outdoor living and machinery range.
In addition to the ongoing discounts, you'll also get more voucher value when you join or renew your club membership. We will send you 4 £5 product vouchers, which you can redeem throughout the year against the cost of your orders.
And as a new added benefit, you will now receive 2 free P&P vouchers, which can be redeemed against the cost of your shipping.
Club members get priority access to exclusive offers and brand new products at our best prices.
We'll keep you up to date with fantastic advice and top tips from our grown experts and professional gardeners to make sure that you get the most from your new purchases and existing plants. The best way to join the club is with our auto-renewal subscription. You'll pay £10 per year, then at the end of the year we will automatically renew your membership to ensure you retain all of your benefits. Plus, the price you pay when you join will never go up for as long as you remain a member, and that's a guarantee.
And remember, when you join the club, you will start saving from the very first order you make, as the discounts will be applied immediately. So with all that the YouGarden Discount Club has to offer, why not join us and start saving today?
We'd love to help you make the most of your garden for less with the YouGarden Discount Club. It is such an amazing club.
I adore the club. I love how much money we save.
Yeah.
You know, it's brilliant.
And I'm not being funny, £10 a year is nothing, is it?
No.
You get, you make, and all those extra benefits. So if you are not a club member, join today, place your first order, and you will save potentially hundreds of pounds over the next 12 months. Now, we're going to go back to our favourites table. You are loving Little Miss Figgy, but...
Let's have a little chat, shall we, first?
Yes.
Right, hang on. Marisi says, wow, the standard roses are a wow appearance in your garden. Yes, they are, absolutely. Marisi is saying, again, your prices today are crazy, amazing. Thank you, no problem.
Pleasure.
Kyle would like a recommendation for a front border south-facing evergreen perennials. I'm going to say to you, the Nandina, first of all. You could go for a Ceanothus. You could go for the hardy fan palm. I mean, you could go for the callistemon. That would love it in a sunny set, and it's evergreen as well. There was another one I thought of as well, and I've forgotten. But there's a couple of suggestions there. Ceanothus looks amazing and would love that sunny border too.
Yeah, it really would.
Good morning, good morning. Neil says, my first ever TikTok order from the summer sale is out for delivery today.
Yay!
Oh, Neil. We will be live on TikTok this afternoon, won't we?
Yes, we would. I'm just thinking the Hebes would be great as well.
Hebes, that was the other one.
It's right in front of us. I'm thinking, yeah, we've got the Hebes would be great for that sunny border. They'd love it there.
Eleanor's going to knock a wall down at my dad's to take a rose, the one shown on Sunday. I've already taken loads of his Acroledias. They remind me of him every time I see him. Oh, sweetheart, that sounds lovely. Neil says, love the tiny pampers. Mine's in a pot at the bottom of the garden in front of the shed, growing very happily.
Good. Glad to hear it, Neil. Is that Neil A?
Neil A, correct. Yeah, we're going to have to start doing Neil A and Neil E, aren't we now? Right, so Eleanor also needs some shade plants. I think my fuchsias would be dead if I didn't have your compost.
Yeah.
Neil says, YouGarden compost and blooming fast is a winning combination. Eleanor agrees. When I got a different feed, I ended up giving it to a neighbour and buying blooming fast again. And we're going to bankrupt her. Sorry, Eleanor.
No, not with it.
Spend what you can afford.
Yes, of course. Do you know, I do think that with gardening, whatever you spend, it's so worth it, because plants give you so much pleasure for years, don't they?
Absolutely.
You know, there are so many other things that we buy, and it's, you know, the pleasure's gone instantly sometimes.
Yeah.
But not with plants.
There for ages.
Yeah, I walked around my garden this morning when I first got up, and it gave me such joy. And many of the plants there, you know, some of them are plants that I've had for 20 years or so.
Yeah.
You know, so I always think, buying plants is a great way to spend your money, but obviously stay within a budget.
Penny, good morning team. My favourite plant this week for colour has to be this dahlia. Hard to believe it was just a plug plant a few weeks ago.
My dahlias are not out yet.
Yes! Maxi Fireball! Whoa! Wow!
Mine are nowhere near flowering yet.
I've got a few flowering.
Have you?
Just started flowering.
Hang on.
Look at that!
It's not because I haven't looked after them. I don't know. I planted mine, to be honest, mine were planted a little bit late.
You go with that reason.
Hey, it's not a race. You wait. You wait, Bex.
Tony says, hi, Bex, just a few photos this morning. We do love Tony's garden. Remember, Tony?
Yeah.
Loads of containers, yeah? So gorgeous lilies starting to come up there, looking really, really pretty. I bet those are beautifully fragrant, Tony, as well. Hope you're enjoying that fragrance.
Lovely colour.
Then we've got, his lovely border here. I mean, there's Bowls Mauve in that border. I think that might be a rock rose down there, is it? There's definitely a Rigoron in there. Oh, I don't know if it is or not now. I feel like that's a rock rose.
It is.
And he's got a Rigoron in there as well. Those look like Rudbeckias coming up. Or maybe Echinaceas.
I think Echinacea.
Yeah, it's got some flowers coming in there as well.
Is that a campanula to the left?
Could be, yeah.
Working out.
What else have we got? Oh, see, this is what we love. So we love these central sort of borders he's created. Loads of mulch and chippings down the base there. And then just an array of pots filled with beauty. Tony, that looks so... We're so proud of you, honestly. That looks so good.
Yeah. I've forgotten the name of those pots to the right. I've actually got those.
Laval,
that's it. I've got a few of those Laval planters, and I really like them. Really do.
And that's a one of my favourite plants that I've forgotten the name of. No,
where are you looking?
That one. Euphorbia.
Mine is Merlot.
Mine is Merlot.
We all have moments like that.
Sometimes the name just drops out of my head.
No, it does with me sometimes as well. But I tend to remember the popular names of plants.
Grimmy. Now, Grimmy's always got a project going, hasn't he?
Go on, Grimmy. What do you do now?
This week's project, pallet wood clad pond. Oh, look at that.
Grimmy, I need you to... I need to hire you.
Should we commission Grimmy?
Yeah, I want to commission you to come to my garden and build all these wonderful things. That is going to be fantastic, isn't it?
And so that's going to be a lovely waterfall going in as well, isn't it?
And are you going to have fish, Grimmy, or is it just going to be plants?
Wildlife pond.
Yeah, let us know. That is fantastic. You are so good. I wish I was as talented as that.
Dingo says, hi Bex and Sean, front garden's starting to come into its own again. Cheers, Dingo. Now, remember Dingo's garden filled with it's filled with loads of things, but all the lilies that start to come up.
Look at this.
That is what it is looking like right now. The fragrance coming out of your garden, Dingo, must be incredible.
I love the colours. There's some really nice hot colours there, aren't
they? So pretty. Yeah. I love the rainbow of colour. It looks really good.
We do love this, when you send in your pictures. It's just brilliant. So if you don't be shy. I know some of you will be sat there thinking, I've got a nice garden.
Send them. We want to see. We love being nosy.
We do. And if you've got a problem, a plant problem, and we can't, we're not agony out.
I'm happy to offer life advice. Not sure it's good advice to follow.
I'm not sure I'm qualified enough to offer life advice, but we can give you gardening advice. YGTV at YouGarden.com.
Here's Dingo's other picture from his front garden. Look, I'm going straight in to the Brunera. I love a Brunera. But yes, so many beautiful plants in there, Dingo, looking really, really good. And Ali just sent one more email. I don't think there's a picture. She just says, this is it. I have a huge task ahead of me in the coming days. We're having new fencing lifted next week and I have lots of plants in pots to move. I was so wishing that I would not want any plants this week, but no such luck. The Nandina has been sat in my basket all week, hoping that you would have it on a show. So thanks.
So I honestly bought a couple of those yesterday and can't wait. Really can't wait for those.
Yeah.
It's quite an unusual colour, isn't it? The lemon and lime.
Love it.
Yeah. And do you know, imagine like in the winter, because this one doesn't turn red, it stays the lemon and lime. I think in winter it could look absolutely fabulous.
It will. And if you've got the Obsessed, Stu's just saying it's got the same leaf style, and it has, hasn't it? If you put the Obsessed and the lemon and lime next to each other, I think you've got a very similar looking plant by way of leaf shape, but then you'll get that contrast of colour.
Yeah. So A brilliant price, £11.04 for club members. Delivered. You know, bear in mind, we do not charge postage on YGTV, but you always need to use the offer code. Changes every week, but it's YGTV 2725 today. But please tell your friends and family about the show.
Yeah, do.
Yeah, spread the word. Right.
Banana plant collection.
Yes.
3 amazing banana plants for you. You've got the red Abyssinian, you've got the Chinese hardy, and you've got the Musa Bijou in there as well. Now, do you know what? They're actually not as tropical or tender as you might think. They can cope with some cold. They can cope with a tiny bit of that. But I'm always going to recommend that you give them some winter protection, of course, and that's how you're going to ensure that they come back. This is all about that tropical feel. It's all about creating the central feature for your garden, because these will become that central feature. Leaves reaching about 1 metre in length, and a very clever collection, because you are getting those 3 very distinct looks. The red Abyssinian with those red leaves, the Musa Bijou with those green leaves, and then, of course, that one, the Chinese hardy, which produces that beautiful flower.
Yeah, and when it flowers, and the flowers last for months as well, it is absolutely breathtaking. And I have to say, it's kind of, if you bought these last year, this summer, I'd say very likely for that to flower. Yeah. So again, they love this really hot summer. These will establish really quickly this year. Just keep on top of the watering. I know when I've had banana plants before, you know, in this sort of weather, you really want to water them, potentially every day. But when they get going, the leaves are huge. They're kind of like so I'm going to say about that size.
About Beck's size leaf.
Well, well, I meant your head sort of, but bigger. I'd say. I've seen the leaves like this sort of size.
They can get up to 1 metre in length once they get going. They're huge.
Really big.
Yeah.
Right, what do you want to show, Stu?
Little Miss Figgy, I reckon.
Has this been the most popular plant?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for him to say yes. I think it has.
So this is super cute. It's a brand new fig tree, but it's more compact.
Yeah.
Known as Little Miss Figgy. And not only will it stay smaller, it still gets about, 1.8 metres?
Yeah, it can do eventually.
But I love the leaves.
Yeah, fig leaves are really interesting. The plant itself looks amazing in winter. You can still produce figs as well from these plants. The one I planted earlier on this year, not Miss Figgy, but, the...
Brown turkey.
I have got several figs growing on that plant.
In your first year?
In the first year.
Yeah.
I only planted it, 10 weeks ago, something like that?
And there is something really magical when you see a fig tree in the UK with real figs on it. It is fantastic. It really is.
Such a beautiful plant.
Winter hardy, we said it's about -10 with this one, so that's going to survive pretty much all winters in the UK. But just raring to go and to find a home today. And I know I keep saying it, but if you buy this now, because we've got another heat wave on its way, it's going to really get so well established in its first year.
It really will. Just do the same thing that we always recommend with figs, and that is to keep the roots restricted. They do like that. That's how you encourage that fruiting. So you might want to bury the nursery pot. That's what I did with my fig tree earlier on in the year. I buried the nursery pot into a more decorative and attractive pot. Keeping those roots restricted, that will help the fruit production.
Yeah. And I made the mistake with mine. I took it out of the pot, put it in the ground, and I just had loads of leaves. Did very well, but I've put it back in the pot now, and yes, I've got figs.
Yay!
But how do you eat your figs?
Do you know, I'm going to be honest, I don't think I've ever eaten a fig.
Seriously?
Genuinely. I may have had it as an ingredient in something. I don't think I've ever eaten a fig on its own.
See, when I was a child, it was fig rolls that you'd have.
Yeah, I've had a fig, I've had a fig roll, but I've never eaten a fig.
So, do you like honey?
Yeah.
So they're really nice with Parma ham and honey.
Yeah.
We do a salad at the pub, and it is figs, Parma ham, honey, and a few other bits and pieces.
Well, hopefully later this year I'll be able to do that.
Yes.
We need to say hello and thank you to Gary on Facebook. He's made his first order on Sunday with us, and he's waiting for it to arrive. He does like the look of the bananas today. Thinks we've got some amazing prices and a big selection.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, you do get amazing prices on YGTV. You really do.
Yeah.
I hope and the free postage. Gary. Bear in mind, some of the plants are really big, huge. You get free delivery on everything from the live show. Is Gary a club member?
That's what I just said. I hope he is.
Sorry, I missed that, yeah.
No, I hope he is.
Yes.
Do join the club, Gary, if you haven't already. You can save on any order that you make. Your first order, you can get 15% discount. And make sure you use our code, always. That one that you can see down there. Changes every week. Sometimes you can use last week's code to get last week's prices and last week's products.
He has joined the club.
Sometimes.
Good. So I don't know when you join Go, but your vouchers are sent through the post.
Yeah, so you'll get those soon.
Yeah, and they'll be worth £20, so you can redeem those against future purchases. So it's a really great club. Right, so I'm glad you are now a club member. So if anyone else that's watching, you can join today and save so much money over the next 12 months.
Under a tenner for that, by the way, everybody. Have you seen that price? $9.34.
Delivered.
Just pointing that out.
I was surprised because I'd forgotten the price of it. It was like, yeah, when I saw it on the screen, I was a bit like, really? So I'm very tempted to buy that.
Oh, God.
I placed a massive...
You placed a big order yesterday.
I spent about £100 yesterday, yeah.
You'll be all right.
But
you've done a lot of QVC, you'll be all right.
Yeah, there's always gaps.
Always. Yeah. There's always a gap, no matter the size of your garden. Something will fade, something doesn't work, you've moved that. There's always a gap to fill.
Yeah, there is. And you know, sometimes you just want to change things around a bit, don't you? But anyway, it's a lovely thing. Right, we're going to move on to the Hebe collection. I've got quite a few Hebes in my garden, and they just kind of get on with it.
Yeah, you don't have to do too much.
No.
They're quite compact plants. I mean, each one's... You've got 3 different varieties in there. So Rainbow, you've also got Celebration, and you've got Archie in there as well. They're roughly going to grow to about 1 metre by 1 metre. So these look great in your mixed borders, don't they? But you just kind of leave them alone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I very rarely prune mine. I mean, I'll take off the odd bit that's maybe, dead or damaged. But they naturally form lovely dense clumps.
Yeah.
But we often forget you've got this stunning foliage, but then you do get flowers.
Yeah, I mean, and they do look amazing at the moment. The ones that I'm seeing that are really nicely established, loads and loads of flowers on them. They just... And they invite pollinators as well.
Yes, good point.
They are wildlife friendly. Pollinators do absolutely adore these. This is the one that I see on the drive to work, the house I pass, and it is covered in those beautiful flowers. And you can see why pollinators are going to love them, can't you? Really simple, could be container grown if you want to, but absolutely awesome in a mixed border somewhere. Nice sunny spot, that's how you're going to get the best colour and the most flowers.
And when established, again, relatively drought tolerant as well. They're just easy. And if you're maybe finding gardening a bit hard work this year, say sometimes we reach an age, don't we, and you think, oh God, can't do as much as I used to do. I used to. Well, my mum, for example, did lots of summer bedding every year. It's all summer bedding, very few perennials. But now as she's older, she wants just plants that look after themselves, that come back every year or look good all year round. And Hebes, they really require such a little amount of attention. But I think it works really well having 3 different varieties there as well. Lovely contrasting foliage, and you get the flowers as well. Right, we've got the Cornus next. Never grown this particular one.
No, but I mean, Cornus, all Cornus are just dead simple, aren't they? And give you that year-round interest. So not too fussy on soil type. They do prefer a free draining. I wouldn't go for thick, heavy clay for them, but not too fussy.
Hey! Sorry, I've interrupted.
No, go on.
I just go, what is the soil type in your new garden? Do you know?
I don't know.
Because just to explain, Bex has got clay soil right now, so she has to be fairly careful.
I really hope it's not clay. I don't know. I mean, I looked at the garden and it was pretty, but they haven't really got borders in there, which is why I'm really excited about it. It's kind of a blank canvas. So it's not, I couldn't go digging to find out, because the owners were there as well, so you have to be really careful, don't you? Yeah. So I don't know, but I'm dead excited to find out. I really hope it's nice and easy to dig. That's, I'm really hoping I don't give myself tennis elbow again from trying to dig in the ground.
I mean, if you've got clay soil at the moment, because a bit of my garden is clay.
It's so annoying.
Oh my word! I mean, I just can't get anywhere near it.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I digress there. Back to the Cornus.
Yeah, beautiful this for year-round interest. Dark foliage, starts out this lovely fresh dark green in spring, turns into these kinds of shades. I mean, there's purple tones, it turns almost a black colour as well. But then you get that fiery red display, and a gorgeous fiery red display in autumn before it drops its leaves. But it doesn't stop there. It's a deciduous plant that still gives you interest in winter because you get those red stems on there, which we know of Cornus of dogwoods.
Yeah, and they are rather magical in winter time. I think gardens are all year round, and the last thing you want to do in winter is to have just an awful, dead-looking garden, because it can get quite depressing.
Yeah, it's dull. Doesn't make you go outside, does it?
And even if you don't go outside a lot, you just want to look out your windows and see some beautiful, beautiful plants in the winter. And when you see the red wood with a little bit of frost on it, and I sometimes put little twinkle lights on it, it looks spectacular. Really does. And you were saying the best thing to do is sometimes to hard prune it back and get the new growth.
It's how you get the brightest coloured stems on it, to be honest with you. I mean, don't worry about it for a couple of years. You need to leave these to establish. But after that, you can sort of hard prune, and I do mean almost to ground level, probably 10 centimetres. But you can leave it a little bit taller if you want to, if you still want to have some height there. But it's how you get the brightest coloured stems.
So you get all three, and the growth's about £1.50 m, and the price there is only £21.97. Forget that price. Join the club and you'll pay £18.67. Don't forget, all you need to do is place an order, allthews.yougarden.com, or you can give us a call, which is 0844 502 0050. No, you don't even need to use the W's, do you? No.
Yeah, you don't. You can just type it in now.
Yeah. Do you know what I have to say as well? I think our website is very predictive, because my spelling isn't great.
Yeah, and it recognises it, doesn't it? Unless you get it right really often.
Because I'm not great at spelling, never have been, but you put in something that vaguely resembles it, and it's like, oh, here you go. It's very good. So, yes, very easy to find plants on the YouGarden website. Then we're going to just quickly remind you of a really popular plant today.
Who's got it in their baskets?
Me yesterday, 2 of them. I was really excited about this because we both love Nandinas. We love their simplicity, we love their ease, the fact that they'll tolerate all soil types, sun or shade, city life, they don't even mind a polluted environment. They look good every single day of the year. But all the other Nandinas that we've previously had have been based around reds and oranges and pinks. Yeah. But this is like lime green and yellow.
Yeah, it's going to stand out, isn't it? It's really going to stand out in a border. Sunny spot is the perfect place, free draining soil ideally, and no maintenance. I mean, you really don't. I have never touched my Nandina Firepower. Never touched it.
No.
I mean, I water it occasionally, but I haven't had to do anything to it. It'll stay nice and compact as well. Nice bushy, dense habit you get from this one. It'll grow to maybe about 60, 70 centimetres, height and spread if you let it.
And if you do a lot of container gardening, this in the centre, and then some summer bedding around it, some winter bedding, some spring bulbs, but you've always got that central focus that is going to look good every single day of the year. Oh, that's beautiful. So I bought 2 yesterday. Don't know where to put it though. What should I put it with?
You'll find somewhere.
I'll find some room.
You'll find a plant, a place, a plant.
I can always find a plant.
Yeah.
And I can always find a place as well. So that's the lemon lime 51269, and so the club discount price is only £11.04 delivered.
It's
awesome. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. For an evergreen plant that'll be in your garden for years. Incredible.
So I was having a random thought there. Because I've got some citrus plants. I'm just thinking it'd actually...
Yeah, it'd work really nicely.
It would, wouldn't it? Yeah. Anyway, I should stop designing my garden when I'm trying to present the live show, shouldn't I?
Let's talk to you about rock roses, shall we?
Let's do that.
Now, we think we spotted some of these in Tony's garden earlier, in that sort of raised planter where he's got the sleeper down the side. Looks awesome, just sort of tumbling over the edges there. And these are phenomenal for those kind of spaces, maybe rockeries, or maybe just filling those gaps in the borders. Nice ground cover plant we're talking here. And you're going to get those beautiful flowers on there. Quite a long flowering season you get on these as well. These can start blooming for you in around May time, and they can keep going right the way through summer into August.
They are really pretty. I know my mum, she doesn't have a rockery anymore. We'll give you the details for these, by the way, if we can. If you want the Nandina, 12/9 51269. But if you like the Helianthemums rock roses, you get 6 plug plants, and they add down to just £9.99, £8.49 if you're club member, and postage is included. Yeah, my mum had these on a rockery, and they did tend to flower yeah, pretty much all summer long.
Yeah, and you don't need to do too much to them. They stay nice and compact. They don't get too tall. They'll spread by maybe about 30 centimetres. So the fact that you're getting 6 here works really nicely. This is not too much for your garden because they do stay nice and compact. They're tough, they're hardy, they're drought tolerant when they're established. They're nectar rich as well, so they're going to bring the pollinators into your garden, and an amazing gap filler. They are sort of semi-evergreen, aren't they? So depending on where you are, obviously a more sheltered spot, it will hold on to some of its foliage.
But fully winter hardy.
But fully winter hardy, absolutely.
I think they are really pretty. And so if you have got a rockery, if you've got a nice sunny spot, they look great in a gravelled area as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Gravel garden, rockery, or just front of border. Softening, you know that pathway where you've got your phlox planted?
Yes, with carpet phlox.
And it just kind of creeps out and softens the edges there. Then you could do that with helianthemum, with the rock roses as well.
Do you know what? That's a great idea, because with my carpet phlox, it only flowers for a fairly short period.
Yeah.
Whereas these would flower all summer.
Yeah. Have I just done a design in your garden?
I think you have.
I did a garden.
No, I like that idea, because
Yeah.
say, at the moment, obviously the phlox is all finished. So these, thanks,
Dots of
Bex.
rock roses in.
I like that. I'll take that. Right, another order placed.
I did a garden.
I've spent a fortune this week, but who cares? So if you'd like to go for those, they are down by £3 today, just £8.49 for club members, 480992.
£8.49, nice.
Right, we're going to talk grapes now.
Grapes. Okay, so this is the red grapevine, or black grapevine, red grapevine. What do we call it?
We call it red.
It's the red one. Okay, good. So the red grapevine, I actually think the red grapevine is my favourite. And the reason I think that is, I know they're great. Look, we've got one with a bunch of grapes. It's a bunch of grapes on here. So I'm amazed that a small plant has actually got grapes forming. But I do think that when these are ripening and you get those red grapes, almost black in colour, the contrast of that against the foliage, I think that works really nicely. That's why look, green's great, but I do like the red one as well. I just think that contrast will be awesome.
I used to have a grapevine, a red grapevine in my last house, because I had like a lean-to and I had it grown underneath. And you're right, so like September, October, I'd sit underneath it and you'd see the grapes just hanging down. It was quite wonderful.
I think they are amazing. My friends have got a grapevine growing around their little seating area outside. They call it their taverna. Oh. And I think it's really cute. It grows around and then sort of up and over, provides that lovely shelter for them where they can sit on a lovely summer evening. And then there's these bunches of grapes just dangling down.
It's lovely. I
think it's just, it provides that beautiful place outside to enjoy the summer evenings.
And you might be thinking, hang on, growing grapevines in the UK, is that okay? It's really, they're really, really designed, this particular breed.
And they can ripen. We have vineyards here in the UK. We are producing our own wine in the UK. So please don't think that you can't grow grapevines. You absolutely can. They're very, very simple. My mum and dad used to have some grapevines growing over a big old archway they had in the garden, and it was magical every single year. Plus, these are incredibly long-lived. You could have these in your garden for decades. In fact, they are known to could live over 100 years. Like, they really can be amazing plants and long-lived in your garden. Give them some nice free-draining soil. You can grow them in pots and containers as well. I would go for a large pot and then give it a structure for it to climb over. If you've got a big pergola, maybe you want to consider going for 2, because it'd be great to have them sort of growing evenly up the side and into the middle and intertwine. I do think at that price, it's affordable, isn't it, then, to be able to get 2 of them. Lovely full sun position. They can cope with a slightly shady one, a part shade one, but the more sun you can get on these, the better, and the sooner they're going to ripen for you as well.
So I was just trying to find you. I'll have to find. I need to sort.
You need to spend the 3 months that I spent actually filing all your photos. It's a tedious job, but now I can find any picture I want.
Yeah, no, I need to, because I have got,
I know, it's really frustrating. I know I've got the picture somewhere and you scroll, and how many photos have you got on your phone? Like, I've got 15,000.
The only one insane. I can, just to give you an idea, sorry about my iPad as well, but I try to send it to you, Bex. It's not very good, that's all. No, I'll just show you it.
Still get it.
But that's where it was. Can you see? So, but that's before it goes into leaf. You can see it was just clambering around. Can you see there?
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
So that's
what I want to do in my garden, though.
Yeah.
My new garden, I'm going to create that pergola, and I'm going to put that. I'm going to get a grapevine going over the top.
But sadly,
it's going to look amazing.
But I've got. Why I took the picture in May, but not in September when it was actually in fruit. I don't know.
It is our deal of the week, by the way. So deal of the week, a bit like the rose of the week, it comes to you at an amazing price. So that one is only £12.74. It is free postage, remember, for all of your orders on YGTV, as long as you're using that offer code, which this week is YGTV2724.
And that for under £15.
Woo.
I know.
Nice.
Now, I've never made any wine from grapes, but I'd like to give it a go.
Yeah.
I've drunk plenty of wine in my time. Never made it. Right, we have now got a beautiful clematis collection. And this is very clever because it's a collection that is going to give you flowers for many, many months, because you've kind of got an early, mid and late on this, haven't you?
You have. You've got the President, which is that beautiful, deep, of rich violet purple colour down the bottom there. You've got Madame Julia Correvon, which is the dark red star-shaped one here.
I'm glad you pronounced that. I wasn't sure.
And Comtesse de Bouchard, which is the lovely mauve pink one here. And that one's the sort of later bloomer. The Madame is the mid-season, and the President is the kind of slightly earlier one. So yeah, the early, mid, the late, as you were saying. So if you do love clematis in your garden, you want to get honestly, we've got collections where you could have clematis flowering in your garden for 12 months of the year, because we've got our winter flowering ones as well, haven't we? If you love clematis, we have the collections to give you those flowers all season long. Now, you've got RHS Award of Garden Merit winners in here as well. I do believe that each and every one of these has the RHS Award of Garden Merit. So, proven performers, nice and easy, really simple to grow clematis. So if you are a beginner gardener and you want flowers for months on end, but for very little work from you, but also ones that are going to bring pollinators in, clematis.
Yeah, and they do. I mean, they are brilliant at covering unsightly walls, growing up trellises, growing over archways. They actually go really well with other climbers as well, so you can use clematis with other climbers. But the only really thing you need to do is just keep the roots cool. So we always say, although the actual plant itself loves the sun, you want to keep the roots fairly cool. So if it's in pots, put some mulch around them or surround them with other plants just at the base. So keep the base of the clematis nice and cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's how you get the best sort of colour from them. Give them a feed as well. That definitely helps.
Now, I'm really excited about our next collection.
Yeah, this is cute.
It's really cute because one thing that's made me really happy this year is seeing so many more butterflies in the garden. Last year was, there's a big butterfly count that takes place every year, and the count last year was the worst in 14 years. Partly that was due to the wet spring, the cold wet spring. But butterflies are on the decline. They are massively on the decline. Most varieties are really reduced in numbers. So anything that you can put in your garden to attract more of those butterflies, for me, is a great thing to do. And this Buddleia collection is a magnet for the bees and particularly the butterflies. But it's a really nice collection because it's a lot more compact, this one.
So much more compact. Have a sniff, because that smells amazing.
Oh, it does.
I love the scent of that. So you are getting a compact Buddleia here, or I should say 3 of them. These are going to reach about maybe 80 centimetres, so maybe getting close to 3 feet height and spread, which is tiny for a clematis. Yeah. Not a clematis, a Buddleia. Tiny for a Buddleia, isn't it? You're getting the 3 glorious colours included in there as well. So you're getting the sort of ruby colour, you're getting the purpley colour, and you're getting that sort of creamy white colour as well. Pollinators, as Sean has said, are going to flock to this, particularly the butterflies. They're winter hardy. You don't need to give them any extra winter protection, and another one that's going to be drought tolerant once it gets established as well. So great one for these hot summers.
And I always, I always think, Buddleias are beautiful, they're great, but sometimes they can look a little bit boring. But to have the 3 different colours together, I think it creates so much more interest.
Yeah.
And as Bex was saying, because they only get about 80 centimetres maximum, you can grow them in pots and containers.
Yeah, which I wouldn't normally say with other varieties. They're too big, too vigorous,
and they
whereas
can
these
sometimes take over a bit, but no, these are a lot more compact and are beautiful colours and a great price on those. I mean, they're already beginning to come into bud and flower. They're normally flowers at like late July time, and you are going to get all 3 varieties for under £17 for club members. So that works out about £5.66 each, which is amazing value. Fully winter hardy, easy to go. Buddleias tend to be very disease resistant as well, and as Beck says, drought tolerant when established. Right, so more people in the chat.
Yes, there are. East Coast, Nathan's back in. Hello.
Hello.
All right. He's got the ficus in his basket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one, isn't it?
It's so cute. Well done. Right, Mauricia has got. Hang on, I need to go back a bit. Angel wings. Got angel wings in the basket. Needs some planting instructions. Is there any special instructions with planting? So Senecio angel wings, they are tender plants. So you're going to need to give that winter protection first of all. So maybe plant it in a pot so that you can then move it to give it the winter protection.
Yeah. I put mine's in a pot and I put it in the greenhouse in winter.
I can't remember though. They don't like loads of sun, do they? They're sort of more part shade position.
I've had mine in fairly sunny.
Have you had yours quite sunny?
Yeah.
All right, but they are very, very low maintenance. It's more the winter protection that I want to tell you about there, Mauricia. They do need that protection from frost.
They are fairly
free draining soil.
I've found them quite easy to propagate. I've taken little offset.
Have you done little
yeah.
Nice.
But they do definitely need that
They're
protection.
so soft. I love the leaves on them. They're so soft. You just want to stroke them all the time.
But it's a lovely plant, and I think it works really, because of that lovely silvery texture, it works really well against other plants.
Neil came in and he said, the angel wings is a beautiful plant. I just left mine to its own devices and it's thrived. May just order another. Neil, did you not give it winter protection then and it's still been okay? I want to know. Let me know. Did you say there was another question, Stu? Because I can't see it if there is. Oh, Victoria on Facebook asked, can you overwater? Because mine has dying leaves. He thinks that you're talking about the grape. I mean, depends if it's in a pot. I mean, yes, if the ground isn't draining enough and the roots are sitting constantly wet, then yes, you can overwater because essentially the roots will ultimately rot. So I would actually get in the ground and have a feel a little bit further down before you water the next time to see if it's holding onto the moisture, wouldn't you?
I mean, the main say that when it comes to overwatering, as Betsy just said, it's more to do with the drainage.
Yeah.
So most plants, not all, but the vast majority of plants just hate to be sat in water. And that's house plants as well.
I've got it with a pot I've got at the moment. I've got 2 pots either side of the front door. I've got copper shield fern in, and I've got, you know, the winter flowering pansies, which are doing brilliantly, in one pot. But the other pot, I noticed the other day, they were starting to die off. And I went to water it, and the water was just sitting on the top.
Yeah.
Clearly, there's an issue with the drainage in that pot. It's not draining out somehow. So it's more about the water draining out, because we are watering every day. But I would have a feel inside and see.
But any questions coming? We've still got about a quarter of an hour, so if you've got any final questions. Lots of replants in your baskets. Don't forget a few basics if you are new to the live stream. We're here every Thursday and every Sunday, by the way. So on a Thursday, it's just a couple of hours, 10 till 12. We've got TikTok this afternoon, haven't we?
We have from about 1 o'clock. We'll have a little lunch and then change the room around if you want to come and join us on there.
And we tend to have different deals, different offers on TikTok, TikTok rather. So if you haven't ever watched us on TikTok, then you can download TikTok and watch us live this afternoon between about 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
But if you're not bothered, we'll be back here on Sunday, and it's me and Sean again.
It is. I always forgot what time we start. It's 9:30.
9:30 on Sunday, yeah.
9:30 till 12:30 on Sunday as well. But always use the off code. That gives you free postage and all the offers as well that are available, and that changes every week. And please join the club, because you will save an extra 15% if you join the club. Right, we have got some eucalyptus for you next.
Actually, we've got 3 eucalyptus for you. So this is a collection of 3 different varieties that you've got included in here. So you're getting baby blue, which has the lovely sort of rounded silvery blue leaves. This one is the one that's widely used in cut flower displays. Blue bouquet, which has the sort of more bluey green coloured waxy leaves. And you're also getting, and I love this name, Citriodorus, which is the most fragrant of the 3, a lovely zesty citrus foliage scent to it, but slightly more slender, elegant shaped foliage that you get on that one. I mean, that one is
it's
obvious.
quite different, isn't it?
It is quite different, and I think that is really interesting when it comes to your eucalyptus. But these are drought-tolerant plants, great ones, more compact. Now, several metres still, but bear in mind that eucalyptus can become absolute monsters. I said this the other day, and I don't know if it's true. I feel like I've read it somewhere. I think eucalyptus is second only to redwoods in height. Have I read that wrong? Because redwood is the biggest, isn't it? I'm sure that I read somewhere that citrus is the second largest, or can be.
Eucalyptus?
What did I say?
Citrus.
Eucalyptus.
They just have a slight citrus scent sometimes.
Yeah, it's because it's got a citrusy scent.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can get huge. Not these ones. We are talking maybe 3-4 metres.
Oh, that's
4
compact.
metres. It's
Yeah,
compact when we're talking about eucalyptus. And of course, you can keep them smaller. You know, you can pollard them. You can really chop those stems back. It's very simple to do. As long as you keep on top of it in its growth stages, you can keep it smaller.
And you could grow them in pots, but they have to be big size pots. But I love, the foliage is really, really.
Apparently
useful.
it's wrong. It's wrong. I could have sworn that was eucalyptus. I'm going to have to find out what it was now. I was researching something. Tibetan cypress is next. Spruce. Douglas firs. Yellow. Oh, it's not even up there. It's nowhere near. All right, maybe I had a dream.
What's the other two, Stu?
Maybe I was dreaming. Oh, he's looking. Gum tree.
Yeah.
Denitzia excelsior. All right, maybe I had a dream. Sorry.
I wouldn't have known all of those. It's quite. That's
a list, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
That's a list.
It is.
No, I would not have done that, Stu. He says apparently might have been in a video and I would have believed it. I always check my facts. I've learned not to just believe what's in.
And do you know what
videos.
we garden, what we love? You're always learning, aren't you?
Yeah,
it's such a huge subject. But anyway, if you like the eucalyptus collection there, they're not going to grow too big. They're never going to make the top 10 trees in terms of height. 680330 at 99.7. Again, the discount club price is 16.97.
Ooh, yes. Let's do bamboo.
Yes,
because I do love a bamboo.
We have got a few final plants to show you. Thank you to everyone for placing an order today, by the way. Really appreciate it. But don't forget, you can order any time, even when we're not live. Right, we've got 2 different bamboos. Which is your favourite? Yellow or black?
I like the black, personally. I think the black's the best. But this is about choice, and that's what we're here for, gardening for everyone, and to offer you the choices. This one is the yellow bamboo. You can see that it's the yellow bamboo because you get those yellow stems on here. What?
No, sorry, I'm just giggling.
So you've got the beautiful yellow stems that appear on here, and bamboo is awesome for creating movement, sound, structure in your garden. Don't shy away from bamboo. I know that, it can be a bit of a gardener's nightmare, but you can plant bamboo in your garden. Just containerise it. You can grow great big tall bamboo in massive, big containers.
I've got mine in a big raised bed. I just found that. It's brilliant for screening as well.
Absolutely awesome.
It's one of the best plants. If you're trying to divide an area, if you're trying to screen, it's fantastic. Now, the one thing I'm going to say, just being really 100% honest, it needs a lot of water.
Yes.
It really does. So if you are buying it now, please keep it really well watered while it's dry. It thrives on being wet and moist. It does not like to ever dry out, but it does create the most lovely sounds, as you heard there. It's a very easy plant to grow. It keeps its foliage all year round, and it's fully winter hard in the UK. But this one will grow big.
Yeah, I mean, this one, the yellow one can get a bit taller than the black one, I think. This can get, 6, 7, 8 metres in height. It can get very, very tall. It is very, very simple, though, as long as you keep that really nicely well watered. Beautiful, as you say, for the screening. I love it for the movement, and I love it for the sound.
And just make sure where you plant it, you've got to bear in mind, It is going to grow big, it is vigorous, but on our website there is a lovely article on how you can actually control it. And it is about controlling the roots. So we've actually got, we call this a barrier control, and it's a system that really will make sure that your bamboo, the roots of it, stay controlled. But it's a really, it's a really good way of getting the most from bamboo, but it's on a roll system, and if you use that, so all the instructions are there, it can really create a barrier so that bamboo stays in a specific area, or the roots do rather. But it's a lovely plant, it really is. And then, see, I've got all yellow bamboo, but I wish I'd planted black as well, because I think the contrast looks so lovely.
That's the one I've got. I really like the black stems on here. Yeah, I think it's awesome. Now, obviously, it forms the black stems over time, but you can see that these are already forming those black stems. A little bit more compact than the yellow one, reaching maybe 4 metres in height. I've got them in a couple of containers at the front of the house, keeping them well watered on a regular basis at the moment. This one actually has the RHS Award of Garden Merit too, so this is proven performer, obviously.
I would call this a very stylish bamboo.
Yeah.
It isn't. It's if you've got like quite a modern garden. I was watching a programme last night, the world's most expensive homes in the UK.
Oh, I can't watch those. It makes me very jealous.
Yeah. We're hoping to get 17 million, but maybe could push to 18. But if you've got a really stylish, maybe like a modern garden, black bamboo just looks fantastic. It's quite breathtaking. But equally, I mean, yours is quite like a mixed garden. It works great, doesn't it?
Yeah. Works in every sort of garden. You don't have to have a particular style or theme. And as you were saying, for that screening, I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's just great if you've got, nosy neighbours, you want to divide a part of your garden off, because it is evergreen, of course, as well. But I'm going to say again, you need to keep it well watered. It does not like to dry out. Now, we've also got the Photinia Red Robin, but this is a compact one.
Yeah, so beautiful plant. I love Photinia in the garden. This will turn the beautiful red shades. Honestly, it does. It's the new growth that comes through where it turns those red shades. It's normally much earlier on in the year, and then you will get some of that red happening as well. So you get the lovely green underneath, and then the contrast with the bright red. You can get the flowers forming on these as well once it matures a little bit. They're fragrant, they're beautiful, they're easy, they tidy up after themselves. You can keep this nice and compact. You could grow this in containers. It gives you that evergreen colour. I mean, I love it in a pot like that.
Yeah, I do.
And again, I mean, this is the sort of one, when I always talk about standards, they look great individually on their own as like a feature plant in your garden, but they look great in pairs, because I like standards either side of the front door. That's why I've got the holly standards. I've got, the rose standards. I've got the Kojo no Mai standards.
Oh, yes, you have, yeah.
And I'm going to be switching those over on a seasonal basis.
And what I was just thinking about Photinia, compared to some other evergreen standards, it is a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, we love our base standards, but they look pretty much the same all year round. But Photinia, it does change colour. That new growth is spectacular. And it is a little red robin standard, so it's a lot more compact, very low maintenance, sun apart shade. Very easy to keep that in shape as well. I just prune mine sort of like little and often, fully winter hardy. So not difficult at all, but gives you a lovely
beautiful
display all year round as well.
Yeah, really pretty.
Right, we're going to go back to the top seller. So, Little Miss Figgy, you are #1 today on YouGarden.
Well done, Little Miss Figgy.
Yes.
Really pleased. I mean, it's brand new into the potting shed. We're excited that you're going to go for this one. A slightly more compact variety of fig for you. The leaf shape seems to be a little bit more compact and smaller as well, but still going to be able to produce those lovely figs on here.
Oh, I'm just thinking, if Roger Hargreaves was still with us, he could write a brand new book called Little Miss Figgy.
Yes, he could.
He wrote Mr. Men and the Little Miss series, didn't he?
Yeah. Winter hardy plant as well. This can cope with -10 once it gets established, so don't worry about it. You can have this in your garden. Keep it container grown. They like to have their roots restricted. That's how you can sort of force this to produce those fruits.
Yeah, I'm just really excited that every single one of you watching right now, you've got an opportunity to find a brand new variety of fig for $9.34 for club members. And there is something magical. I mean, we've both got the brown turkey, which is wonderful, but there is something magical about the shape of a fig tree and the shape of the leaves. And then when you see those figs, They are absolutely fantastic. And figs do taste, you know, fresh figs, they taste beautiful. So I suggest to have them with Parma ham, a little bit of honey, just delicious.
Oh, I cannot wait to get those. Hang on, I'm going to get the iPad. Apparently Nathan sent a picture and we need to see it.
Now, can I just say thank you to everybody that's placed an order. If you haven't placed an order, you can shop from us anytime. Just use that offer code. Valid, say for this week, might be valid a bit longer. YGTV 2725. And if you haven't joined the club, become a club member today. It's only £10 for the year on auto renewal, and that will give you a 15% discount. Right,
in 2 years' time, this is what these could look like.
Is that honestly only 2 years old?
Nathan bought this as a 9-centimetre plant in 2023, and that is what it looks like. What I want to show you is take a look at the size. Well, I wasn't the toucan. I actually do quite like the toucan.
I love
that little tiki head there. That's awesome. But no, I was just showing you the size of the pot that he's growing that in, just so that you can see. Like it's, I mean, guesstimate here, it's a 40 or a 50 litre, isn't it? It's not massive, and that is what he's growing in it.
That looks
Nathan,
amazing.
I'm doing it. Next year I'm doing it.
So, I want to know, Nathan, what did you do in the winter? Did you fleece it, or...?
Did you move it?
That is brilliant, Nathan. You've just made our morning.
Love that. So, 2 years later... That's what all three of these could be looking like.
Yeah, and I did say, you know, I grew these in last garden. When they get going, that it's amazing. And, you know, and this is, I bet, because it's a hot summer. Again, if you buy these now, God, over the next 2 months, these could really rock it, couldn't they? Just keep them well watered. Say, banana plants do need a lot of water in the summertime.
I love that.
I know.
All
in your
right,
new garden,
Nathan,
you see?
You've persuaded me. I am going to get myself a banana plant.
Now, my other pick of the week, the one that I bought 2 of these yesterday, the Nandina Lemon and Lime. Beck saw this a few weeks ago. I only saw it yesterday, really did. But it's one of our fabulous Nandinas, fully evergreen, so it will never ever lose all of its leaves. It stays looking good all year round. This one won't get the red shades or the pinks like some of our other Nandinas, like Firepower and Obsessed. It has these lovely kind of limes and lemons and greens. It will flower. I was reading, Bex, this one doesn't tend to produce as many berries.
No. I mean, they've got the potential that it could, but
it's not one of the
it's not one of the ones that's going to produce all the flowers and fruits like the others. But to be honest, I've always said this about Nandinas. I don't care about the flowers and the fruits. Whether I get them or not, I'm not bothered. I've got those because of the foliage. It's all about that evergreen colour. Yeah,
I'm totally with you. And what I would say is just think about what this could be planted with. You know, this is a great plant to companion plant with other things. Yeah. I'm even thinking, I've got my Verbena bonariensis, and I'm thinking purple against lime green. Could look fab. Right, time to go.
Nathan said, by the way,
what did you do?
He did fleece the stem.
You fleeced it?
Fleeced the stem.
Yes.
Thanks, Nathan.
Thank you to everybody. So Bex and I, we're going to have a quick snack. Bex will have some wonderful food with her. I've got a manky sandwich. But we're back on TikTok live this afternoon, around about 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock with a brand new selection.
Looking forward to it.
And we're back on Sunday.
Yeah, we will. Both of us here for 3 hours on Sunday from 9:30.
Right, so thank you to each and every one of you beautiful gardening friends. Take care.